Oh, yeah, babies. We got your old election time going down, man. There's a big old scary storm down south. Some sour grapes floating around, and the Standing Rock campers won't get out the way, man. You better look out because the Friday Night Super Show starts.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
The Friday Night Super Show. You damn right. Tag team champs, bitches. The motherfucking Friday Night Super Show. Number one in the world, baby. Hey, enough of the goddamn horse shit. Let's start the show.
Oh, that's right, baby. Hey, man, it's time. Friday Night Super Show back here on the air, on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching at you, joined as always by my tag team partner, my brother from another mother, man, Mr. Villain himself, Skeletor in the flesh, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Friday Night Dennis Ford. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing lovely, Sleep here tonight. I want to let everybody know it's October, Halloween's coming, so we should all be celebrating the villains amongst us. So, yeah, I'm kind of sitting into that right now. I'm just, trying to piss people off. That's what people should be doing. That's what this show does. The Friday Night Super Show is the punch in your face that you need, ladies and gentlemen.
You damn
Nobody
right.
else does it like we do it.
That's right, so, man.
Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to being a part of this show, a part of this wonderful, crazy, oddball experience that is life that the Friday Night Super Show brings to you each and every week. Each and every week, we try to bring you as much information, real talk, and, like real-world insight. Dennis Ford and I have been studying a lot of these subjects and looking into this, plus doing this whole radio gig for a very long time now, and we have quite a bit to say, and a lot of people seem to like it, man, because their numbers just keep on going up, and I want to thank each and every one of you listeners out there. That's right, I'm in face mode. I'm going to be the nice guy here for the time being, because we got to have that yin and yang, that balance, Daniel-san, as the Japanese say.
What are you pandering to the people?
No, I'm gonna say thank you to the listeners, man, for tuning in and spreading the show. And spreading it. Now, you be quiet. It's my turn to talk now, man. Thank you to the listeners, everybody out there, man. You're great. You're beautiful. Keep on spreading the word. Keep on telling everybody about this asshole that's about to start talking, because God love him. I do. I wouldn't know where I'd be without him. Now, you go right ahead there, Mr. Friday Night.
Well, like I said, do you want people to applaud you? Do you want likes on social media? Do you really care about people tuning into a show? Because at the end of the day, people really don't care. I mean,
well, I prefer oral sex and cheeseburgers.
But I didn't want to get into all this, but this is nothing new. This is actually a game once you get into it. Lee Peter knows exactly what I'm talking about, and all the radio show hosts out there know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to interact with people, and you're going to have to stop wearing your feelings on your sleeve. But if you're really good at it, like me or Lee T here, you know how to work this. You've been doing it for a long time. This is, something we don't get paid to do, but it's something we've studied over time. It's not. It doesn't just come to somebody one day unless they take the initiative to pick up the microphone and tell people how they feel, because that's the only thing we have left is our voice. You know, that's it.
For
If
damn
you can't
right.
use your voice to tell people how you feel about shit, then how are you even functioning as a human? Unless you're talking about the debate. And we'll get into all this politics shit
The master
later
debate.
because that's so minute in the grand scheme of what we are really dealing with.
You damn
And,
right.
you know, all the people in Florida and all the people that this storm is affecting, you know, I want to take a minute to address that as well because that's really happening in Florida. You know, there may be over-exaggeration about what's going on there, but a hurricane is never a good story to tell people.
Mm-mm.
You know, that's the whole fear thing, too, Leap here. They love that, you know, scaring people.
That's right.
But I just wanted to bring that up because it's a crazy week right now in everybody's life.
Well,
Not just mine, everybody.
We get into that hurricane thing. I got a few things to talk about that because, man, there's something fishy going on with those death toll numbers. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We can't trust the government, and we can't trust the media, and they're the only ones reporting on this storm. And if you fly a drone, I read a story earlier. If you fly a drone, you know, you got a robot drone, you bought it at Radio Shack, and you decide to fly it into the storm or look around or do some shit, they'll fine you money for that. So that's really interesting. That should give people a scope on why can't anybody but NASA and satellites look at this storm, and they're telling us all this shit is going on. That's some crazy shit to wrap your head around at the end of the day after you get off work. You're like, maybe they are making shit up, or maybe they are making storms with these other machines that they have, you know.
And you know that's definitely got to enter into people's realm of thought,
I mean,
man.
just think
Especially
about
with
it,
their weather modification
there's
is
a hurricane
very
going on
real.
right now. Apparently, that's what they're telling us, right?
Yeah,
That's what we're getting, right?
They're predicting, of course, death, doom, destruction in the streets, and they had that classic sign language guy. Oh man, that guy was hilarious. You know who I'm talking about. That guy was funny, man.
Bill, he's standing outside right now in the storm. What's going on, Bill?
And the wind's just blowing at 3,000 miles a fucking hour, you know, fucking. I see this one chick trying to hide behind a pillar and shit, and it's still just blowing her. She's trying to walk in place and shit. So the wind and the storm it's quite real going on down there. I don't believe that it's getting as bad here in the States as they're trying to say it was going to, you know, but apparently down south it's been a little bit worse.
Runs that website.
Mm.
Drudge Report or whatever.
Matt Drudge.
You know, a lot of people follow that and are interested in that. He went on record on, Twitter, social media. Oh my God, he said something on Twitter. Everybody stop what you're doing because he said something. But he was asking the question, maybe the government is lying about the storm and the magnitude of it and the death toll and everything you were just saying.
Well, yeah, that's
what we should look into.
The thing that got me was, it was 11. The death toll was at 11 for like 2 days, and this is a couple days after it had gone through.
Oh my God, it's 500.
Just the peninsula of and then it jumped to 111 this morning when I woke up, and they were like, well, they're just able now to find people. I was like, dude, it just went through like the peninsula, where it's like, it only went over the tip of fucking Haiti, man. I didn't fail 7th grade geography class, man.
My whole point is that a lot of people are looking at their television, and that's where they're getting their information from. And I don't live in Florida. I don't know what's going on in Florida. But the only thing I can really get information from is turn on CNN or Fox News. And they're like, that's all they're talking about. And that's distracting us from the other shit that I brought up earlier with them losing money, the trillions of dollars they lost last month that everybody's forgot about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. And the election, like, I don't even want to talk about politics anymore. Shit makes me want to throw up right now.
No, it is. I'll tell you you're exactly right. That's how frustrating talking about politics is anymore for guys like us, man, because we've been down this rabbit hole so many times. We know where it's going to lead. I mean, I can sit here and tell you that you follow.
Where have these people been, and they haven't been paying attention to the election process in the United States of America because you live here. Obviously, you're not paying attention enough to understand that you shouldn't even be considering going to vote for anybody anymore.
Well, the simple truth of it, Dennis, is that, man, if you follow around assholes long enough, you're going to be stepping in shit. That's just the way it is. You're going to,
and you explain the A and B thing.
ladies and gentlemen, you don't even have to look at us. Don't look up at the asshole in front of you, for God's sakes. At least look down at your shoes and see that you're walking in shit. All right, because you're hip deep in it. We're neck deep in the shit now, man. I mean, this country is at the breaking point, at the precipice of a very big change one way or another. The old dichotomy has pretty much, it's taken its final gasp at trying to keep us all in some form of this prison state that they've got us in now. It's in its dying, and so they are either going to, and let me tell you this, kids, they're going to fight to keep the power that they've attained through swindling, coercion, and taxation and theft and murder and everything else that they've done to keep it up. They will continue their murderous plot. They will fight. And I was talking with the Dashboard Outlaw today at lunch, man. We actually sat down and had lunch face to face. In reality, it happened. The world did not end. Okay, just for all of you out there knowing. But it's the reality that everybody's got to face, man. You can't sit back and think that, this fantasy of, somebody else is going to take care of it for you, because that's the kind of sleep that they've lulled you into. That's how we got this fucked in the first place, man. We've got to literally stand up.
How many times are they going to roll out the same shit over and over again? And we've been saying this for the last 5 years. Everything we've been addressing has been true, and nobody can deny that, but still people want to go out and put shit in the yard, a sign, they want to represent a symbol. Even if, a football team or something, people want to represent, they want to stand with something, and they don't even know what they're standing with. And that's the problem when it comes to Americans. We have freedom to a certain extent, but you going to vote for the same people that are basically enslaving you, there's something seriously wrong with that. You might want to question yourself and figure out exactly why you are doing what you're doing, because you really don't know what you're doing. And that's, again, a major problem.
And you're right, and it's all boiling down to, people who want to rule you. And, people sit around and go, well, why did Donald Trump get even selected up into this? Well, because he wants to rule you. He wants to keep things pretty much the same way they are, just alter them a few different ways, including, add a few 100 militarizations of police societies around the country, the stop and frisk mandatory everywhere, pretty much taking all of your rights because, there's so many dangerous people out there. My hands are huge. They're huge, Dennis.
Yeah, do the stop and frisk in Chicago, please. Because I wanted to bring up Chicago here in tonight's show.
Yeah, well, first you gotta fucking rescind these anti-gun laws in Chicago and let people actually have guns. Number one.
It's a liberal nightmare. It's like a bad episode of The Twilight Zone or like Tales from the Dark Side. It's like, we're gonna go to Chicago.
So it's like, hey, did you see what we did in Detroit? Check this out. Bet you can't do that in Chicago. Oh yeah, motherfucker.
But here's the thing, right?
Watch.
Here's the thing, right? This shit is still going on, and I report on it. Nobody else is really reporting on it, but I am. I'm interested in it. I'm keeping numbers on what's going on in Chicago and all the major cities throughout this country of ours.
And, that Detroit reference there, brings me to a point. Detroit lies in ruins. It's a wasteland. It's RoboCop, 1985. It is. They're primed and ready for Peter Weller to come up in that shit.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and it's to that point, Lethea. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what they want to get Chicago in. But nobody was really reporting on it in Detroit, Dennis, at that point in time either when it was happening. Luckily, the people of Chicago, the innocent people who are out there just trying to make a living and earn a day-to-day living and don't want to be involved in all this bullshit and violence and getting shot the fuck up, they have Dennis Ford, who's been paying attention to this vehemently each and every week. I mean, he is the biggest prick on Facebook, but every now and then he does some nice things.
Yeah, that was interesting that you said that, because I want to bring this up in tonight's show too. At a certain point, we're almost like comic book characters, all of us.
Yep.
All the individual radio show hosts are like comic books, and we all work together, but we all have our own separate comic book, our own style, our own art form that we bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So when we collaborate, it's very interesting to see us all work together. But yeah, I'm like working on my villain series. I'm working on my evil, demented series that I'm very concerned about, because, like I said, we're running out of time. People always think, oh, everything's going to be fine. It's not going to be fine because, next month or whenever it is, people are going to run out and vote for these fucking morons.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supporting it. You are supporting it, not the people that listen to our shows, or me or you. Just the average American individual with a family. Everything's nice and everything's cool.
And when you have big, interesting conversations like this, especially out in public places, and 90% of the time you're still going to get this is how me and Dennis can make this broad generalization about a lot of the public like this, because when you're out doing this, then 90% of the time people are going to like get up and walk away from you or shoot you the dirty looks or this guy, that's what they're going to do to you. But every single time, the 10% of the people around you that are hearing you, well, at least this is my experience. 10% of the people that are around hearing my loud ass talking about how fucked the government is, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I talk about it just the same way I do to you each and every Friday night, only I'm more sober and it comes across more clear. And quite loudly, regardless of whether your fucking children are in the room or not. That's not my fault. It's the real world. You brought them out here. Tell them get fucking used to it. But 10% of them will come and go, you're right. You're right. And more people are going to start doing that. It just takes people a little bit of time. You know how they got that old saying that girls mature faster than guys? Well, sometimes brain activity matures faster in certain adults as it does opposed to other adults. I don't believe that anybody's adult brain kicks in until they reach at least 30 years of age. Okay, that's when all of a sudden, it really starts working. I know it did for me. I know it did for just about everybody that I fucking know. It was one of Pops' old theories, and God bless him, it's always turned out true. But some people start to catch on to this way faster than others, like Dennis and I and many other people that have been doing this for quite some time have. We've gone on here and said, hey, this, and a lot of you have called us crazy. But over time, over these past 5 years, now I'm not saying it's this gigantic mass number and we should all run out to the streets with our pitchforks and torches just yet. But a very large amount, at least 100 people that I have come across and personally been that earwig, that motherfucker that puts that shit in your ear, that posts that shit on Facebook, that tells you about Fukushima, that talks about Common Core, that talks about Morgellons, that talks about fucking the Federal Reserve, that's talked about all this garbage to you. Slowly but surely, these motherfuckers are all of a sudden posting the same shit that I am. When you see people that you've had arguments and conversations with that are all of a sudden now, 6-8 months later, posting the same anarchist type memes that you are, then all of a sudden, aha. Guess what? You know what? I don't ever need to hear that person tell me that I was right, because I know they know I was right, and they know that I know they were right.
I just want to let you know this, Leaf, here, because this is very important. There's people that run around Facebook that think I'm the same person as that person because that's how much influence I have. You see what I'm saying? Nobody gave a shit when I was doing everything for the last 5 years. They only cared when I started stirring up everything, when I started getting everybody riled up. Now everybody's like, oh, what's going on? Now it's an attention thing. But I'm not here for that. But I'm able to do that. I'm not good at what I do, but I can create controversy. Lee Pierre is very capable of doing this as well. But like I said, when you get into radio, you have to understand that there are people before you that have done this better than you. And I know the history of what I'm getting involved in. And this is all for a reason. It's all for a purpose. At the end of the day, people don't understand that, but I do. I see the big picture. They only see the left corner, the little corner. That's what they're looking at. But I see everything.
I mean, it's that's the way you got to look at it, though, man. I mean, if you're not looking at things big picture, then you're selling your own self short. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to keep.
Radio, Leaf, here. I want to talk to you about this.
Go ahead.
I want to bring this up. Why did you get into radio? You didn't get into radio because you thought, oh, this is something I'll do for a hobby.
No,
right?
I wish.
Okay.
All right. You never know how my life would have went if I would have just gotten into radio just to play music and then continuously be dumb.
But that's what I mean.
Uh,
You didn't start being a radio show host. You didn't start it if you didn't think you were good at it, just like me. And that's what separates us from other people. And we spawned off other people that didn't even know they were radio show hosts, but we helped them out. And we've been doing that for years.
mm-hmm.
So like I said, people, the origins and where they come from are not necessarily the most important thing, but people need to remember that because we put in a lot of time and effort to what we do. Nobody else does what Leap Here does or what Dennis Ford does.
It does. It takes time. It takes a lot of
media.
Sleepless nights. You end up ignoring a lot of people that are trying to get a hold of you or talk to you. Man, I got to get this ready. Give me 5 minutes, man. I got to finish reading this article and jot down a couple notes about this, man, because I want to bring this up on the show here later this week. And 9 times out of 10, man, we end up covering the gamut so much that I'll write out a few notes for the show, and we'll maybe use 2 of them, and I'll write out like 20. Just during the week, just jot shit down, and people sit there going, "Fuck, man, you're going down, just wasting your time with that." No, I'm not. I'm still learning. Okay, well, I'm reading this and doing all this research, and maybe we don't cover half or even a quarter of what I jot down during the week, because we'll go on to other topics and deal with other things, guests and everything else. I mean, you never know where the Yellow Brick Road's going to lead on a Friday night, but hey, at least I'm still learning that at future shows. These things can still be brought up, man. We're always doing the work for you, and just sometimes you got to bear with us as to how much we get to give you each Friday, man, because we only get 3 hours every Friday, and you can only drink so much liquor. And believe me, to bring this stuff across, a little drinky poo is nice.
Like I said, I'll break the fourth wall again because I really don't care about the audience or anybody listening right now. I just want to tell you on Friday nights, it's something I look forward to, talking to you on a radio show for an hour, however long it is. 3 hours, I don't care. But that's what I look forward to because we've been doing it for so long. We're so comfortable in what we do. We work off of each other. Even if, all the people we disagree with, we get along. So imagine that. It's like the odd couple. It's like no way that could work, but it works.
And we have so many mutual people that we talk to on Facebook, and believe me, when this whole stirring the shit thing come about, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, each and every week, it never fails. I'll get at least 1 or 2 nights where all of a sudden, my shit gets blown up. Look at what Dennis did. Look at what Dennis said. And everything else. And I sit there and, I just kind of grin and bear it, and take it the way it is because, it's making a point. It really is.
This is nothing new to you. You've already seen this before.
Well, I think I figured out the formula, and I know what's going on, man. And
I don't know.
To me, it's brilliant.
Everybody's picking up on the formula.
To me, it's fucking brilliant.
This is nothing new. This is kind of who I am, and this is what I've been doing, and that's what I'm saying. When you get on Facebook or social media, don't get on there to get people's attention. Get on there to be yourself. And if you're not doing that, why are you even on Facebook? Let alone, you don't even know how to use Facebook. Let alone the people in radio don't know how to run a radio show. Why are you even in radio if you didn't study something that you were interested in doing? Or if you can't talk to people or take callers or break down a song after you come back from break or play ads. If you can't do that, then get out of radio because it's madness. I don't understand what people are doing. Same thing with music. If you're not really serious about your music, then don't do it. Please, save us some time. But that's what we got going on. Everybody thinks they're a rock star. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants a spotlight. Everybody wants everybody to understand who they are and what they represent. But for me, I'm different. I'm the anti-person. I don't really like people. It's funny, I have a radio show because normally I don't want to interact with people because when I go out in public, people make me sick. I want them to get out of my way because I have shit I have to do and they're in my way. So that really bothers me as well. But on top of all that, when you get into radio,
I try to avoid that.
No, I'm just saying, when you get into radio, there has to be a passion there. You know, there has to be something that draws you into wanting to talk to people, even if nobody's listening to radio. Something has to draw you to do that. And if it's not something you feel, then move on. But for me, yeah, I wouldn't have never got into it if I didn't think I was one of the best that ever did it. Just like Leaf here, with his intros and everything that he's good at, with his artwork, with everything, all the pictures, all that is Leaf here or what I represent when I get on social media. Because you're not going to get anybody else on Facebook that's posting the shit I'm posting. With the music, the memes, the fucking shit that I'm pissed off about. I mean, I'm a triple threat already when I get on social media. But I'm giving people shit they never heard. And because people don't want to talk about this shit. And it's a problem. It's a big problem, you know? It's a problem, Leaf.
Well, it is. And, you know,
that's the reason nobody wants to wake up.
It is. You are damn right. Nobody wants to wake up because it's that much of a pain in the ass. Maybe it's because they hear the angst and the anger and the frustration in us each and every week. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, as much as we try to avoid bringing that across too much on the show on Friday nights, man, it comes through. And undeniably so, we're only human beings. I mean, some of us are radio gods, but that notwithstanding, you know, we are still, you know, slightly human. You know, we have that instinct to just, you know, be truthful with you. That's what we've always been here on the Friday Night Super Show. When the time came to, well, you know, you can compromise by not saying certain things, we was like, no, we can't. Sorry, that takes away from people would know that we're being fake. You know, we tried that first hour not being not saying dirty words. You know what? Fuck that noise. Put your fucking kids to bed. It's not my responsibility to fucking parent them.
Here's another interesting thing to bring up. I wouldn't even get involved with a network if I didn't have a plan B. I had my own network. I had my own radio shows that come to me and talk to me, and we work together and we do shows and shit. I've been there. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new to me. So I've studied the game. I've mastered everything that's involved in when it comes to producing or putting out radio shows. And like I said, if you're not that serious about it, it's like anything. If you think you can cook, if you're not a good cook, then don't cook. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
But if you want to be a good cook, put your fucking mind to it and become a good cook.
We have enough shitty rappers. We have enough shitty radio show hosts. We have enough shitty people, period, on this fucking planet. We don't need any more. Stop doing what you're doing unless you're good at it. And if you're not good at it, then please get out the way.
No, you know what? I want to encourage motherfuckers out there. Go out and quit your fucking day job. Tomorrow morning, or Monday morning, I guess, because it is Friday. You know, most people go to work on Monday mornings. But Monday morning, you call up the boss and you go, you know what? I quit. No notice. Shaklacky. Hang up that fucking phone right on him. That's it. And then you find something that you love, something you want to do. And you put some really hard, earnest work into it. I mean, you just really put everything you got into it for a good couple of years. A good 2 years, man. You do this, and then me and Dennis Ford, we will come and we will swoop down, and we will tell you whether or not you're doing a good job. I mean, some people, hey, if you find out if you got talent, you've got talent, keep on doing what you're doing, man. Good job. Keep on doing it. Some of you we will come across and be like, you know what? Zero talent. You need to go get your job back. You know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But if you don't get out there and fucking try, man, that would be the biggest shame, the cosmic shame, if you will, do.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You know, I had to try doing what we're doing right now. We're approaching 200 episodes for this particular show, but not to mention all the other shit we've done. Okay? I didn't jump into that head first. I had already decided, you know, maybe I should do this. Maybe this is something I could be good at because my communication skills are times 10 above anybody in society. And that's not something to laugh about.
No, this is
that's
true.
Not something to joke about. You're talking about an intellectual level of people walking around society that won't even look you in the eye when they're talking to you because they're looking at their phone.
Proof in point, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, I was having lunch with the Dashboard Outlaw, and I was kind of telling him how the show was running because he asked, and we've guest hosted for his show many times. He's been on our show many times. Earl's a great fucking guy.
Yeah, I met that show, man.
And it may be making a comeback here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. Just look the fuck out, kids. But I explained to him how he's like, man, that's kind of weird. He's like, it used to be.
Everybody got kicked out, but we're coming over here.
It was like it used to be. Lee was the crazy one, and Dennis was the voice of reason. And I was like, well, every now and then we switch things up. We got to keep things going because life is a tumultuous circle. Ladies and gentlemen, some days you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to be the bad guy. And you know what? I think I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Guess what Mr. Friday Night's doing? Being the bad guy. He's being what you can't be because you're too much of a fucking pussy whip to do it.
Yeah, to a certain extent. But I'll say the things that nobody wants to say. I'll do it on the radio. But that's, that's between us, Lee. But as far as it comes to social media, please understand, I have mastered the game of social media. I can, like I said, I can throw shit on top of its head and watch it fall. I can watch everything fall around me because people really care what I have to say when it comes to that. And I never expected that, but I'm going to try to manipulate it right now and be the bad guy, piss people off. I think we need more people doing that. Going around and spreading love and everything you have to share with the world and let's all live together. Have you looked at the world lately? Have you looked around you at what we're dealing with? And like I said, we have this election coming up. I mean, it's complete madness. And people are running around thinking everything's fine. It's not fine, ladies and gentlemen. Only thing I can tell you is there's some shit coming I don't think anybody's really prepared for. And I'm not talking about when it comes to the world. I'm just talking about when it comes to Dennis Ford and what I'm involved in and what I am doing and what I've done for the last 5 years, regardless of what anybody had to say about me, period. Okay? I'm very well I'm very well invested and very serious about what I'm doing when it comes to radio. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee here. Everybody out there listening.
That's for sure.
It's coming that I think a lot of people are not really prepared for. And, it's time. It's time to
guess what? Wait a minute. Dennis, I do have to break you in here, man, because we've got live from Hurricane Central. Trip, how's it going, brother?
Oh, Lord.
Trip, I got you.
Yo.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
What's going on, Hurricane Trip?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would rather tongue fuck the asshole of a rhino for 3 straight weeks and live this day over again.
It got worse after. You mean my comments were that bad this morning? I mean, I'm sorry.
No,
I was pretty baked.
They weren't.
That Afghani Kush was kicking my ass this morning, man.
Yeah, that's not good news, Trip. I don't want to hear that kind of talk. What's really going on? I mean,
let us know from the eye of the storm down there, Mr. Post Politics, ladies and gentlemen, from J-Rev Radio. Trip View.
Storm wasn't all that bad. Storm really wasn't too bad. I got some screens blow out. The power went out from like about 11 this morning until just recently. So we just got back home from my in-laws. So strike one. And the kids have not listened to a goddamn word that we've said for the past 2 days straight. So I'm bored. Yeah, I don't have any, we don't have power. So yeah.
Only boring people get bored.
Into the show here tonight. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I was kind of doubting that we'd hear from you. I kind of figured everybody down there be out of power, and you weren't going to be able to get in.
Well, hey, Dennis, man, you cool, man? I know we played a little trick on you on the show. I just hope you laughed as hard as we did.
Yeah, I did. I kind of knew, like, after the fact, I was like, they got me. And I was like, I could have expected that, you know.
To give proper credence, we did give you the proper plugs on the back end of all that, but
yeah, I understand. I know how to go. I appreciate that. I appreciate your time, though. The 3 minutes I got before I got hung up on or cut off or whatever happened.
That was a good combo, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for you, Trip, because, like I said, your show is one of the shows I look forward to hearing, and to be able to call into it is a whole other thing. That's a whole other level, but I appreciate what you do when it comes to the radio. That's what I was saying earlier. I think you're really good at what you do. I think you're probably one of the best when it comes to creating your own lane. You and Zach kind of have your own thing. Just like me and Leaf here, we kind of have our own highway,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it any other way.
Yeah, you remind me of me, except for you're just not as pretty. I'm sorry. But
so what's the word tonight, fellas? We're getting back to the house. I'm cleaning up. I'm dragging the deck chairs back out and all that good shit.
Nah, man, you have a nice pool where you live, man. I want to tell you that. That's
yeah,
nice.
when I come to Florida, I'm coming to Trip Pugh's house too. You better look the fuck out.
Fucking A, man. More than merrier.
There's whiskey and debauchery abound. Just be known. And I'm not afraid to wiggle my wang.
It's all right, man. You do what you feel you need to do around here.
And that's how you make an entire radio show can feel completely uncomfortable. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be.
gotta love Conway, man. Gotta love Conway.
Is it break time already?
No, I just like to throw Conway Twitty in randomly because it's fun.
That was like a Family Guy episode, man. Don't be doing that, man.
A who?
Doing that on the radio.
A who?
It's not funny.
A what?
But anyways, just current events, Trip. I mean, like, what's going on in your world? How do you feel about the world?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I figure, and of course the hurricane videos, people, punching each other, bitches at Walmart punching each other in the mouth over fucking water and shit. That shit's hilarious to me. But
this is what I wanted to ask you, Trip. What about these clowns and shit running around? I mean, what would you do to a clown if they ran up on you and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna chase you in the forest." I'm like, "I'm gonna shoot you in the face."
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the same thing. Okay, first I have to lead this conversation off with almost all of these reports have been hoaxes and they're contrived. First off, they're people like, "Oh, what's that clown doing?" And meanwhile, it's their buddy dressed up in a clown outfit or whatever.
Yep.
They put a fucking viral video on YouTube. But B is that Brittany asked me the same thing the other night. There's a clown over there. I said, "Really? Is there?" But she goes, "What would you?" She's like, "What would you do?" And I said, if he had a weapon and was headed towards me, look, I keep a pocket knife on my side at all times, no matter where I go. No matter where I go, there's a pocket knife right on there, and it takes me about 2 seconds to whip that bitch out. And I'm telling you, I would stab a motherfucker in the neck if he was headed towards me in that kind of manner, and I wouldn't fucking hesitate. I wouldn't blink.
If you're headed, dude, I'm telling you what, if I see one of these clown guys out there, dude, I'm running up and getting a picture with him and me. Straight up. I'm gonna
but that's crazy. I mean, like, how would that even happen in America? But I guess in 2016, what else?
Oh, dude, we're actually the principal of one of the high schools here in Des Moines actually chased down a couple of kids in the high school parking lot that were running around scaring people with clown masks on and shit. And this it's hilarious. I blame ICP, to be quite honest. I think it's all Insane Clown Posse's fault. This Juggalo thing has gotten
No,
fucking
don't
out
say
of
that.
hand. Fucking cats and dogs raining out of the sky. Mass hysteria.
Now, if I see a clown on footage drinking Faygo, I'll agree with what you're saying, but I don't think it's RCP. I don't think that's the influence.
Bullshit.
I think it's just
Who's
people
going
that
dick and
got
hunting?
online, and they were like, hey, let's run around and clowns to scare people, but, you know,
You've ever seen anybody that wants to copycat something? And like I said, well over half of these have been already proven to be fake and contrived. So it's like, you know, whatever. I mean, if that gets your fucking viral video out there for the day, yeah, good for you, I guess. But you know,
Yeah, also true.
It ain't a goddamn. It certainly ain't a public health concern. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Right,
It started out wasn't it this autistic kid, you know, in some town across America, just, you know, he liked dressing up like a clown and going and standing on the fucking corner, and so, you know,
I
it
don't know
was.
what you're talking about.
No, this
What are you
was
talking
actually the very first legit story a few months ago of this happening, and ever since then, there's been these supposed clown sightings. Scary clowns are going to lure our kids into the woods and all this other bullshit. And
Oh yeah, fear keeps the people in control.
There you go. Thank you very much.
And the hurricane too. Scare you. But yeah, like I said, it's October. You know, it's Halloween coming up. Hopefully, people are not surprised. You know, you're scared of fear all year long, but when it comes to October, you're walking in the store and you're buying masks and trying to scare people. What's your problem? What's going on? You want some candy?
What's been going on with your candy? Next thing you know, you're going to be like old Tiny Arms, man. Kim Jong-il. You don't want to be like Kim Jong-il.
Hey, speaking of Tiny Arms, dog, you ever go to North Korea? See that map? That Tiny Arm map with the Clooney haircut? Circa ER? That missile firing bitch? You thalidomide looking with his candy, ain't you?
Thalidomide.
We lost control.
Think about that. No, sorry, J-Rock interrupts every now and then, man. You can't help.
All right, well, are we going to take a break? I don't know if Trip's going to hang out or whatever. But
well, it's 8:40. We still got about 15 minutes before the break, man. I mean, if you want to do some push-ups or sing us a song, I mean, give us a little soft shoe there, you know?
No, I don't.
Well,
I don't. I was just asking.
I'll be damned.
I'm not in the studio,
all right, let's check out some of that other news, man. If you didn't notice this week, ladies and gentlemen, there was a vice presidential debate, which was fucking hilarious. If you look at, dude, it really was. There's that little Krill the Gremlin motherfucker from Legend. That little imp motherfucker that grew up, not Tom Cruise, but I don't know, whatever that wide-faced guy is, that Hillary Clinton, Tim Kaine, yeah, Mr. Former DNC. This fucking asshole. It's hilarious.
Why can't we get Kane, you know, the character Kane,
Glenn Jacobs,
Kane, whatever, to run for political office? That would be hilarious, because you'd be like, that's Gary Kane. He's ripping the door.
He just tore the door off the cell.
You're fired.
Somebody posed the question to me, and I'm going to pose the question to you boys. Would you have been more likely, and especially since I know you boys as well as I do, would you have been more likely to vote for Donald Trump if he had picked Vince McMahon for his running mate?
Yeah, I would. I would vote for that today. If Vince McMahon was in politics, I would vote for that, because he'd be like,
Trip Pugh, I got to get your thoughts on that one.
And kill Hitler and shit. That shit would be hilarious. That's what we need. We don't need Donald Trump. We need Vince McMahon running for president before he dies. Please, can we get that? Or Stone Cold Steve Austin or something?
Trip. I got to get your thoughts on that. Would you have been more likely to vote for Donald Trump if he would have picked Vince McMahon for his running mate? Hello, Trip.
Where's Trip?
Trip, did you hit mute? It still says I got Trip on the line, but I'm not hearing Trip. He might have lost power down there, you know, because, you know, hurricanes blow.
No, either way, that's a very interesting thing, because if we're going to head towards idiocracy, I think Vince McMahon is probably the poster child for that.
Well, I did write in Vince McMahon for president in the 2004 elections.
I'm just saying, I think that's very interesting to think about, because in 2020, we have certain people that said they're going to run. Maybe they'll forget by then, but in 2020, it's really not going to be anything to laugh at. It's really going to be,
gentlemen.
There's Trip. There we got Trip.
All right.
Yeah, Trip, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, yeah, like, that's the biggest. I would make my own bumper stickers for Trump McMahon 2016. I'd
right,
be like,
that's what I'm saying.
Fuck it. We can't get any worse. Is the name of the fucking slogan.
McMahon and Trump. McMahon should be running, and Trump should be, whoever McMahon picks. But
it's quite interesting. McMahon did when McMahon inducted Trump into the WWE Hall of Fame, dude, he did announce him as the next president of the United States, and that was in 2013. So,
well,
that's interesting.
You know who Kane's running mate would be, and it'd probably fare well for like the pro-military group. You know what I mean? Or that demographic, right?
Right.
Who's that?
John Cena live at the Pontiac Superdome. Available now live on pay-per-view Sunday night, August 26th.
You can't see me. You can't see me. I'm behind the cow.
That's what we need in America. We need that, that world to blend with politics, because wrestling and politics are the same fucking thing.
That's a comparison that gets made, so often anymore. It's almost, at first I almost took it as insulting, because I am a wrestling fan, but then I kind of went, yeah. What's the fucking problem? Do we need to start fucking pumping politicians full of steroids before people start going, oh, this shit's fake?
Because if you look at the president in that movie in the future, he comes out like shooting guns and shit to like theme music. Like, that's essentially what we are heading towards, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
No, wait, I've got it. We've Go ahead, Trip.
I said, what are you talking about heading towards, Dennis? We're fucking there, man. We're getting no
Word.
Thank you for saying that. I didn't want to say that.
Word
up. It ain't no. Don't be shameful, sir. You know what it is.
Don't be sour. Yeah.
My nigga. Yeah, exactly. That's what's going on, and
That's the fun part about doing what we're doing. Is you can sit back sometimes and giggle about it. I'm trying to hold on a second, but Jesus Christ, my dick's only so big.
I got something to say. When I got up this morning and I got on to social media, quote unquote, I decided to say some shit. But outside of that, I've been pissing people off for the last 3 months, and luckily people are still clinging on to what I'm doing. I'm trying to lose people. I'm trying to get rid of people and cast away. I'm trying to find the realist.
If you don't get it, like, of course, there's people out there like myself.
Yeah, but you should cut the fat. You know what I'm saying? You should cut the fat away from, like, people that will never understand you.
Hell no, man. It's wintertime. Keep the fat around, keep you warm. Ain't you ever seen Empire Strikes Back, man? You got to keep the fat around to keep you warm.
No, you don't.
That Hoth winter gets mighty cold there, Luke. It may smell bad, kid, but it'll at least keep you warm till I get the shelter built, man. Shit.
You gotta be like Dr. Doom and shit, you gotta be like,
Well, I ain't got no Latveria, man. I'm trying to build Latveria. You know what I'm saying?
No, this is what I'm saying. Like I said, when you talk about the shit we talk about, there's only a certain moment of time where people are even going to entertain what you're saying because the TV's on or they got to do something, They're not interested in what we are saying. So when I bring these things up, people get mad. But then you point out other things, because there's a shit list that I have. There's certain names on that shit list, and Trip and Lee and some other people out there know who I'm talking about. But I'm very pissed off, and I'm headhunting these people, and I'm cutting them down.
Well, the other thing is, it's like if everybody would get on board and get a goddamn blue every once in a while.
Yeah, but you're gonna do like a roast show, Trip. You know,
But that's
you're
what
gonna
I'm
do
saying,
like
yeah.
a roast of
Yeah,
this
I know,
shit.
man.
With what I'm talking about.
We're working on it, bud. We're working on it, dude. Trust me. I'm calling out all fucking dumbasses out there thinking that they're something special. You know, you gotta love it
Like
for
me.
you, not for.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like me, though.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it for you, not for. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are just faking the funk and bullshitting their way to fucking.
Yeah, you reminded me. You just reminded me, Trip. I want to bring this up. You know, getting into radio, there's something that has to draw you into wanting to do radio. And there's a reason why Trip got into radio, because Trip obviously studied talk radio before. You know, I can't speak for you, but that's kind of why I got into it, because I studied the history of it.
Well, it comes
appreciated
across. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
And I think
it comes across when
best,
somebody's
like I
done
said earlier, I
what
think you're one of the
they're
best
trying to
of,
do.
like, people carving a lane that nobody else has ever done. I think you're very good at that.
The first thing is like, and I also started to notice this, and anybody listening that likes this show or my show or what, like all of us do and are trying to do, is like, I'm not interested in anything else other than what I'm interested in. And what that means is every single time I start to think about the audience or try to placate to somebody, I'm not becoming a good radio host. And I can feel that in my fucking bones. I can feel it every single time I try to play it up for somebody. I feel like a douchebag. And so it's like, hopefully there's a bunch of other motherfuckers out there that feel just the same way we do. That's why we do what we do. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure that there is. We cannot be the only walking, talking assholes upon the face of God's green earth. I mean, I know there is.
I'm fine if we are, though.
But so am I. I mean, at least we're the ones, and we'll stand out in the fucking crowd. You know? I mean, these fucking pricks over here now. You know, stay the fuck away from them. You know, we'll even be shunned. We'll even be shunned in the FEMA camps, boys, and that's something to look forward to.
No, I'm just saying, on planet Earth, it's interesting that 3 radio show hosts can agree with each other on something on that magnitude. That's very interesting to me, you know, because we're not doing this for any other reason that we really appreciate the art form when it comes to, like, doing radio. I mean, it's a lost art form. A lot of people are not doing what we do.
You know, I was truthfully, boys, I was actually reminiscent about being, 10, 11 years old and still being able to find the old radio serials on AM radio real late at night during the weekend and shit, where they'd actually do like teleplays and shit over it, and people had different parts, and then they were doing it. That shit was always really cool to me and fascinated me from back in the day. It still fascinates me to today.
Right. The thing that fascinated me when I was younger, I don't know if you, maybe Trip can relate to this, I don't know about Lee, but when I was growing up, the cartoons and shit that I was watching had very interesting voices. It was like, Cobra! So
they were all done by 2 guys.
And then I had wrestling on top of that, because back in the 80s, wrestling was very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It would draw you into it.
Dude,
not like modern day.
Early 90s with that stuff is like, that's the golden era. I mean, even before that.
Before Attitude, yep. Before Attitude, there's the golden era of wrestling, man, where you had your heroes, your Hulk Hogan's, man, fucking Dusty Rhodes, fucking.
But not only that, but it was like the action spoke for itself. Like, you had promos, but it was like, it was the perfect mix. I don't know what the percentage level is now. It's like probably like 90 to 10 fucking promo cuts and bad acting and shit. But,
it's shit is what it is.
Probably, I would say like 30, 70 or like 25, 75, like from promo type of drama element to actual wrestling. Like,
and it was kind of the Attitude era that made that transition too, because you had such great people on the mic during that time. Your Jerichos, your Rocks, your Stone Colds, how many people in the entire world were able to say that throughout the late 90s, early 2000s, I could go into an arena with 75,000 people, and every time I stopped talking, the crowd said what? That's as ridiculous as you look back at it now, because it is quite annoying. But as ridiculous
we
as
grew
it
up
is,
on that shit.
that's
what's
a
important to us.
powerful modem, man. And
You know
they're
what I'm saying? If you think about it, right? If you really want to get in depth, get down deep into the rabbit hole. If you think about things that are on television right now, they're going to influence the future generations. But look what we had in the 80s. You know, like we had the golden age of a lot of shit.
Yeah, and they're all about America, weren't they?
Well,
I mean, we had Nintendo, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and shit. Like, kids nowadays are like, what the fuck is that?
Kids nowadays be Glass Joe when we got raised to be fucking,
And we had good movies and shit.
Go ahead, Trip.
You know?
Well, what we had when we grew up was like the last dawn of like inspiration for the new age, if that makes any sense.
Right,
Yep.
Like what was being put out really inspired kids to be able to do this, that, and the other. And now what we have is they're not inspiring anything. There's no artistic merit to anything. Nobody can jump in and build something on top of that to make it even better. It's all
You nailed it.
Yep.
You nailed it. As a fucking race, man.
It can be equated to, the title of a Jello Biafra and DOA album from 1987 called Our Generation Was the Last Scream of the Missing Neighbors. It really was. The last time you ever heard somebody cool and you go, hey man, you remember having those neighbors back in the day that fucking always had them parties and fucking you could like slip up over there and hey man, hang out, have a good old time, or fucking even if your parents knew them, you still be over there hanging out and having a good time. I mean, as little kids, they had kids and it was just that great time.
Nobody knows their neighbors anymore. I know what you're
and they're
getting
gone now. You know. That's what our generation from my age down to about 31, 32
that's
years old
we're
is
the last generation of people that were inspired by any of this.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting. That's what I was getting to. If you look at 2000 up to 2016, look at all that stuff that came out that's going to influence the future generations, and look at all the garbage and all the they don't have what we had when we were growing up. That's what makes us different. That's what makes our generation, if you want to cut it up into a generation, that's what makes us better than the future generations. And that's sad. That's sad to say, but that's the way the world is moving. And that's it.
Yeah,
they're 7-year-olds with cell phones right now. When I was 7 years old, I was riding my bike around the neighborhood, and when the street lights came on, my ass needed to be home.
Shit.
All right.
I didn't even. Go ahead, Trip.
Little Tommy scraped his knees on the rocks.
I used to put trading cards in my spokes and shit,
But guess what? He had to walk his own ass home with shame because you and the rest of the 7-year-olds didn't know what the hell to do with Tommy's skinned ass knee, or whatever. And it was like there was adversity in the world. And that's why when people bitch about like millennials, even though we're like on the ass end of that, I mean, really, like I don't even consider us that, but me and Dennis anyway. It's like
yeah, I'm old as fuck, ladies and gentlemen. They keep referencing just how old as fuck I am.
Yeah, not to show our age.
It's me and Dennis, our generation, me and Dennis, yeah. Lee's just old as fuck. He doesn't matter anymore.
But we had to deal with adversity, even though there was, a little bit of sunshine and rainbows and pipe dreams in that whole bit that we grew up with as well. And
yeah, but think about the music, Trish. Just think about the music that we had.
Yeah, you guys had way more pipe dreams than I had, including the music.
The age of hip-hop, and hip-hop is a whole other show that we can get into later on. But so much powerful music was coming out when I was growing up, and it breaks my heart to look at what we're dealing with right now. The shit is very sad. It's, what do you do about it? What can you really do? You're just one person living in the state, in the United States of America. You're just a grain of sand. You don't fucking matter.
That's for sure, man. You do matter. You can matter. If you want to matter, you can be a part of the second hour, boys, because I got
to jam, guys.
Get on that. Oh, I know, Trip, man. Go ahead and take care of that. Make sure you plug the show real quick before you leave now, nigga.
All right, post politics. What?
Yeah.
You know, I said it.
Wednesdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. on J-Rev Radio, ladies and gentlemen. You should already know that. Trip shouldn't even have to plug his show.
No, plug your show. What? I ain't here to work for you. Shit, ain't nobody giving me a cut.
People out there should already know where Trip, where he resides. All right? And if you don't, there's something wrong with it. It don't matter. None of this shit matters. None of it matters.
Dennis Ford, the original nihilist, everybody. I like you guys.
Thank you.
Love you too, man. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Trip on Wednesdays and Sundays, man. J-Rev Radio. He's got to be there. We're going to jump into a little bit of a break here, man. Play a couple tunes. Get our she-ad together. And the second hour of the Friday Night Super Show coming up. You got anything else to add before we jump here, Dennis?
No. You know, in the second hour, I think we're expecting somebody, I don't know, but, you know, that's fine. I'm interested in people calling in and joining the show. That's kind of why we do what we do, you know.
Just for sure.
Hate it.
Just for sure, man. Yeah, we'll let them come on in, and if you got the number, you know it. Call up, man. Hey, man, this number stays, you know, for those of people that I trust and have given it in the note. The public call-in number is coming soon, all right? If you want to donate, please get a hold of me on Facebook. I'll tell you where to send cash because that's all I fucking deal with, all right? I don't deal with that bank or credit or PayPal or any of that bullshit. Fuck the fuck off of that digital bullshit. I want cash. Money in my hand, motherfucker. That's how that works. Sorry, dude.
That's all you can say, really, because that's really what all people in society are dealing with, cash money. That's the reason why people get
it's best. They just had a report on a local news channel, the 5 minutes that I had it on tonight, because I was checking the weather for tomorrow, and they're like, well, skimmers on ATM machines and gas pumps and this and that. Well, I'm glad I don't have a fucking bank account. Fucking idiots. Oh, you're an idiot. You don't have a bank account, savings account, anything else? Yeah, you know what? You know who has access to my money? Me, motherfucker. Nobody else.
Kind of segues into this particular song that I asked you to play here tonight by the great, the People's Champion, Payday Monsanto.
We'll give it a promo, man, because I've already got it. I've got it loaded up, ready to go in deck number 2, man. We are set to go.
Yeah, I need to hear that because that explains exactly what's going on. And that's what I'm saying about the art form of everything we do. We do something that nobody else can do.
Which one are you talking about? Right. Which song are you talking about? So I make sure that I got
Occupy All.
Yeah.
Occupy
all right.
all
yeah.
streets.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right?
That's what I got. That's what I thought. Sweet. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Every now and then, me and Dennis Ford do think the same. Let it be noted on this date, 9:03 in the Central Time.
I gotta roll some weed up. I gotta take a minute out, but I definitely need to hear this song because this is vital to what you were just saying about this bullshit money that everybody. That's what your whole life is about. Money. What are you doing with your life? Why are you important? But we put money over everything, over human life. And that's all I'm going to say. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll open up phone lines for anybody that may want to call in. You're more than welcome. Tell me how much you hate me, or you love me, or whatever.
Well, you know I love you, baby.
That's all I got.
You know I love all you babies out there, man. I love especially my brother Dennis Ford, man. And he's right. Little exclusive Payday Monsanto right here on the one, the only, the Bad Boys of Radio, the Tag Team Champs, Friday Night Super Show. We'll be coming back at you right after this, baby.
The House Select Assassinations was trying to say that Oswald had done it, and with a hole in the back of the head, if you're being shot in the back and the bullet blowing out in front, that doesn't fit. The doctors who were supposed to evaluate the medical evidence for the House Select assassinations never saw the suppressed interviews where not only were the Dallas doctors saying there's a hole in the back of the head here, but so were the morgue witnesses saying there was a hole in the back of the head. So it was a complete abomination.
They always say, payday, why don't you make music for the fluff's sake? And I simply respond, homie, I'm hardwired to muck break. Bust nuts in your upstate. If I ain't doing it for the love, I'm doing it for fuck's sake. People in my bracket really caught a tough case. I roll the dice at night, ostensibly my luck's late. Some dummies make me want to bust date. I'd rather dip their hands in some dog shit and make them eat a cupcake. Fuck snakes masquerading as evangelists. Monkeys wanna throw shit, I hit them with banana clips. I'll tell them, but they seldom seem to understand the shit. I'm trying to stay laid back on some Santana shit. You might not like what you're learning here. Money lenders profiteer, make you cry and spread the cheer. Your owner's mind fucked you, got you all in fear. What they need for their greed is a big burning spear.
What is your desire? Who do you admire? Wall Street won't retire. Set that place on fire. What is your desire? Who do you admire? Wall Street won't retire. Set that place on fire.
Black tape, red tape, man, I had enough tape. If I bring tape, it's gonna be a case of duct tape. Your representatives are devilish, you fucked mate. Time to fumigate DC, give it an update. The only ones I wouldn't strike with a gavel: Cynthia McKinney, Ron Paul, Mike Gravel. I'm sorry, Dr. Paul won't be with you. And Cynthia and Mike got knife from the picture. I didn't forget you, consented you were speaking. Worthwhile, now you're just a servile cretin. Initially, I think your intentions were decent till you saw the kickbacks and repercussions of your treason. Now you're just like the other 533 who work for gangsters and wanna murder me. If they bomb Wall Street, I finally get to see heaven. Bring them all down like WT7.
What is your desire? Who do you admire? Wall Street won't retire. Set that place on fire. What is your desire? Who do you admire? Wall Street won't retire. Set that place on fire.
Friends, it's certainly true that when you smoke, you want smoothness, mildness, and deep-down enjoyment. And that's precisely what you'll get with every Lucky Strike you light, because there's never a rough puff in a Lucky. Just think of that, friends. Luckies are always smooth, mild, and mellow, every puff of the way. For you see, it takes fine tobacco to make a fine cigarette. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike, means fine tobacco. Now, fine tobacco costs more, and Lucky's pay more. That's right. Lucky's pay millions of dollars more than official parity prices to get ripe, mellow tobacco for your Lucky Strike. Just listen for a moment to what the tobacco experts say about the kind of leaf Lucky Strike buys. Take Mr. L. Garland Griffin, a tobacco auctioneer from Clarksville, Virginia, who recently said, "All in all, I've sold over 100 million pounds of tobacco. And season after season, I've seen Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco. Prime, ripe leaf. The kind of tobacco for downright good smoking. I've smoked Lucky's regularly for 14 years. Now there's a tip for your friends from a man who really knows tobacco. So for your own deep-down smoking enjoyment, light up a Lucky. You'll agree with the tobacco experts, with the millions who choose Luckies for a finer, milder, smoother smoke.
Sure, I might offend a few of the blue noses with my cocky stride and musky odors. Oh, I'll never be the darling of the so-called city fathers who cluck their tongues, stroke their beards, and talk about what's to be done with it.
Friday Night Super Show.
government and industry too, for I am destined to rule and regulate you. I may be vile and pernicious, but you can't look away. I make you think I'm delicious with the stuff that I say. I'm the best you can get. Have you guessed me yet? I'm the slime oozing out from your TV set. You will obey me while I lead you and eat the garbage that I feed you until the day that we don't need you. Don't go for help, no one will heed you. Your mind is totally controlled. It has been stuffed into my mold, and you will do as you are told until the rights to you are sold.
That's right, folks. Don't touch that duck.
Well, I am the slime from the video, oozing along on the living room floor. I am the slime from the video. Can't stop the slime, people look at me go. I am the slime from the video, oozing along on the living room floor. I am the slime from the video. Can't stop the slime, people look at me go.
Step up, bring it. Yes, sir. Somebody gon' get their ass kicked. Somebody gon' get their wig split. Somebody gon' get their ass kicked. Somebody gon' get their wig split. Beat 'em up, break a stack, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, break a stack. I never skateboard, how could I be scared of a man? I walk through this land like a runner's man. Never can you imagine the pain that I bring in my head. I'm a joint in the streets of this thing. It's the K-I-N, G-N Hill, while it's banned in the world, and I have no fear. I'm the mean and the mean, the nightmare dreams, the root of all evil. Weak fear me, yeah. Somebody gon' get their ass kicked.
Oh, yeah, somebody gonna get the wig split. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Friday Night Super Show coming right back here at you live in our second hour. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching at you, along with Mr. Friday Night Man, the villain that is chilling like Bob Dylan, speaking words that are fulfilling. You best get with it or you be illin'. Dennis Ford, how in the fuck is you tonight? No.
I'm doing pretty well. Smoking on this some kind of weed. I don't know where, exactly the origins come from. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing very well. Hopefully people out there in Radio Land are doing as well as I am.
Radio
I'm
listening.
sorry. 'Cause somebody gonna get their ass whooped. Somebody gonna get their wig split.
That's right. You got the tag team champs here chiming at you, man. We had Trip P join us the first hour, the second hour now kicking it off live. We've got all sorts of stuff here left to talk about this evening, man.
Yeah, what you smoking on, Lee Pig?
I've got the old Afghani Kush going on up in here. As a matter of fact, it is time for a reload. Oh, no, wait. There's a little bit of... yeah. Smell like your mom. Shit. That's awesome. Oh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The pig himself, the mouth. You never know when I'm going to turn heel. Maybe Dennis Ford and his evil influence is going to turn me into the bad guy. What you going to do then? Two bad guys? Oh, shit. You've got yin and yang right now, man. The good and the evil, the bad, the light and the dark side working with you, man. Trying to get you to understand. Don't make us both go dark side, man, because I'll be Sith Lord like a motherfucker.
No, I mean, let's be honest here in the second hour, because I really want to let people know there is a dark side inside of you, but a lot of people are scared to tap into that because it offends a lot of people. Me, I'm not that kind of person. I understand the balance that it takes, the yin and the yang that it takes to be a human being on planet Earth. I understand that you have to have good and evil. Otherwise, the sides won't work. You can't have good without evil. Evil can't work without good. You can't do both of them. You have to find a balance.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the saying goes, man. You know, without evil, there can't be good. So it must be good to be evil sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, are people going to sit down and be like, you know, Lee Perry, he's a good guy, you know, but he's an asshole. You know, they're going to say that about everybody because that's everybody. Everybody's an asshole and everybody's a good guy, but yeah, I'm dwelling in the asshole mode right now, the villain mode, I'm mad at the world mode, and we all go there. Sorry, it's raining in my world. I don't know where you're living at, but it's raining every day where I live. Pain and destruction. You know, it's hell. It's fucking hell. You know, it's hard to get out of where I'm at right now. And nobody can relate to it, and nobody can understand it because it's something I have to go through.
All I can do is, all we can do, you know, is be the man. It's like this, dude. I'm Thor. He's Loki. Be careful how you speak, you know. Loki can sometimes be without reason, but he is my brother.
I'm just saying, you know, at multiple times there's situations where you have to look at somebody and be like, you know what, he's kind of out of his mind right now. But this is nothing new to anybody that knows me through the last 5 years. This is kind of me just kind of reinventing, you know, what I do. But nobody does what I do, like I said earlier, Leafy, and nobody does or brings to the table what Dennis Ford brings to the table. I don't care what you do in radio or on social media. You know, I've mastered that. I've controlled that domain for 5 years, and nobody can take that away from me, just like nobody can take that away from you because you didn't have to get off of YouTube and do everything you've done for the last 5 years. But look at you now, Lee Perry. You're one of the best that have ever been on radio. I mean, we're approaching 200 shows with this show here tonight. You know, it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've done well over that mark in other shows, you know, that we've guest hosted
just think about that for a second. Like I said,
across all the other networks.
It's not a ranking system. It's not a competition. But at the end of the day, it kind of is. It kind of is a competition.
Well, it means a little bit when it comes to what we're doing. You know, it really does.
Well, like I said, you kind of have to be the bad guy at the end of the day. You kind of have to be Scarface. You kind of have to be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck.
And then you know, on the other end of the spectrum, man, as to people, you know, who have been around Dennis for years and known, you know, how he can be and how he gets and how sometimes he gets. Hey, take a look at what he's doing. Maybe he's just trying to, like, spark that match up under your ass, and sometimes it gets a little bit hot. Okay?
I'm just really good
Stand the fuck up, look down, and go, oh, shit, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. I have two profiles that I jump between, and people can't even tell the difference. That's how good I am at, you know, manipulating people.
I can. I got to pick which fucking message system it's good.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not anything new to anybody that knows me. So anybody that may be like, what's going on with Dennis Ford? Just understand that everything is lined up for a reason, and everything is happening for a reason, and there's a purpose. There's a method to my madness. Let me tell you. There's a reason why I'm doing everything I'm doing right now. Because I've been doing it for 5 years. I've been carving out my own lane. Like I said, what Trip is doing on his shows on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, he's carving out his own lane and making himself different than anybody else that's out there in radio. And he's actually a competition to us on the Friday Night Super Show, but he doesn't do a show on Friday night.
You know, here's something that I want to point out. You know, a lot of you that have been close to me and Dennis over the years and everything have been messaging me during the week. You know, and Dennis is doing this and all this stuff. Let me put it to you this way. If you stick your spoon in it, is it my fault or his fault that you tasted it?
That's what I'm saying. You know what you're signing up for, right? You kind of know what you're getting when you come to my profile.
Saying.
And like I said, I have two of them, and people can't even tell the difference. They're like, oh, he blocked me. I don't know what's going on. What's he doing? I'm like working magic in front of people's faces, and they can't even catch up, Leap here. I'm way beyond what people are
It is quite interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially to sit back and watch. I mean, I know everybody doesn't get the look that I get to look at it because, you know, me and Dennis Ford, we do this stuff together, man. We're you know, I've always got his back, no matter what. And I will admit to you freely over the air, yeah, I almost called him this week going, dude, please lighten up. I'm just trying to sleep. Okay.
Well, like I said,
But you know what? I
learned from the
didn't.
best.
Because, you know, I told this moth right here that, hey, I got your back no matter what. And there is a method
on these
to
Friday
this.
night super shows, like the first 100 episodes, I learned from the best. I learned from Lee Peer doing radio shows and people being after the show contacting me and they're like, "What's wrong with Lee? What's he going through? What's he doing? Blah 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 blah." And I love that attention. Even though it wasn't attention, people were just like, "What the fuck is going on?" And that's what
I
I'm
still
doing.
get it to this day, you know. And
I'm creating that "what the fuck is going on" because I'm that good at it. And you know, it's something I've studied over time. It's something that I've not perfected, but I'm working on that.
I'll tell you this. If you do have any mental demons, man, so all of a sudden people starting to pay attention to it makes you all of a sudden go, really? Man,
but that's what I'm saying.
My shit ain't that big of a deal, dude.
You know, we were being nice.
I'll be all right.
Hey, tune into the show. We love everybody. Thank you. Thanks for coming out. We love all you. We've been doing that for a long time. Look where it got us. You know?
It has gotten us quite the following.
Now, then I'm like the bad guy.
There are a lot more people, you know, tuning in.
But I learned that
I can't say he's lying, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to be that stick that stirs the shit. And sometimes you got to be that motherfucker to go, hey, that's holding the stick. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying I learned that from you.
Yeah.
Like I said early on in the shows where people were like talking and, you know, all the shows we've done, you know, later on after we talk after the shows and shit, when we're just hanging out and I'm like telling you shit, I'm like, oh, so-and-so said this. And you're like, fuck them. You know, who cares? And that's where I learned. I learned from that progress of us doing this for 5 years. I learned from the best. I learned from Lee Peer. That's why we're still here on Friday nights, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this show is the best show on Friday night. Nobody will even
and I'm telling you, kids,
approach Friday night.
If you get into radio worrying about who cares about what the fuck you're doing or saying or how you're saying it or what you're doing or how you're putting it out,
let me censor
then
you.
by all means, go and just make YouTube videos, okay? And then don't ever look at the block comments, okay? Just do that yourself, and then you can feel fulfilled. But don't get into the damn radio game if you can't handle criticism, if you can't handle callers calling in and giving you shit, if you can't handle people fucking messaging you at all hours of the week, fucking talking about, well, hey, you know, you said this or your co-host said this and blee, 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 you're against this, and you know, and it's
like I'm back in high school and I'm selling weed and people are like, what's up with the show? I'm like, I'm out. I don't have any show right now, you know?
Yeah.
Hit me next week. I'll get you a dove sack, and, you know, but they're not paying us, you know, but that's kind of what we are creating. And like I said, when I was being a nice guy, being like, we're all fine and everything, you know, it wasn't until I flipped the script on everybody that was like involved in what we do, because I really don't need them, you know, at the end of the day, because like I said earlier, I've studied this game. I understand what I'm doing. I wouldn't even have gotten involved in this if I didn't know what I was
all
doing.
need each other at the end, and you know it,
other radio show hosts to spin off and do their own shows because they started with us on the Friday Night Super Show. So, like I said, I didn't want to get into this earlier.
I can't, like I said, I'd call him a goddamn liar if he was, but
yeah, I'm shooting promos, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to call out radio shows. I don't want to call out people for what they do. But I just want people to bring their A game. And if you're not going to bring your A game, even if you are drunk or smoking or whatever you're doing, you should have already understood from the point that you got into radio that maybe you need to focus on studying that before you get involved in it, before you can get stoned or drunk while you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't do that, then don't get in the radio.
Well, make sure that you can win the arguments around the campfire before you come around the big
Let
campfire
alone
with the
sober.
big boys, man. Because
Let alone sober, because we have some really fucking stupid people out there that can't even run a radio show if their life depended on it. But that's a whole nother show.
it's happened, and we've seen it happen time and time again. There's been times that I've actually called into some of these shows, you know, and they have not actually even been a part of the networks that we've been a part of. But, you know, there are people that have reached out, hey, you know, tell me what you think. And I've called in and just read them a goddamn new asshole. You know, it's, look, you want me to be your friend or do you want me to be honest? Because I can be either one. And I'm going to let you pick. I'm going to give you the choice of the matter as to whether or not you want me to be your friend or you want me to be an asshole. Because if I'm going to be your friend, I'm going to be like, yeah, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing. If you want me to be an asshole, I'm going to sit here and tell you your audio sucks, your delivery sucks, you sound like you're reading, you sound like an idiot. For fuck's sakes, man. You sound like you're kind of guessing at what's going on. You have to have a decisive and firm tone when you get upon a radio station, especially if you're trying to, you know, host a talk radio show. It's all about talk. If your talk doesn't mean that you're also conveyed that the walk is being already walked, you might as well be walking while you talking, then by all means, you're just fucking jerking off to yourself. You're going to end up with 2 or 3 of your buddies listening. Well, you know what? They'll probably turn on their computer, then mute it and play Call of fucking Duty because, you know, that's what they fucking do. You know, whether or not you can continuously see your numbers grow on a show, you can continuously be legit with what you do, and completely honest. I'm already halfway through a bottle of Templeton Rye. Yes, we do get hammered on this show. It does happen because we're honest and truthful about it. I know that there's people out there in Radio Land having a few drinks right now. Might even be listening to our stupid asses. You never know. We get new ones every week, like I said. And all we do is come to this, we put this together, we pay for it, get on the radio, and we sit here and just pretty much have a nice drunken campfire conversation for 3 fucking hours a week. And that's what we do. And still and yet, more and more people come to listen. Why? Because we put it real. We're not sitting here trying to pull any punches or be politically correct or politically incorrect, whichever one you want to prefer. I don't know how you say it. You might ask Dan Quayle about that one. Check your references, because he was a person of history. You know, but
I want to say something though, Lee. It's interesting because when you look at me and you know who I am as Dennis Ford, as a lot of people know me or whatever, I'm playing a role at this point. You know, I'm a shill. I'm like what everybody thinks I am. I'm manipulating
whatever you want me to be, baby.
Of everybody. Lee Pierre, I might destroy your show just by having me on it. Just me being a part of the Friday night show, I may be able to destroy this ship. And if you want to go down when it's sinking,
well, good luck,
my brother, because I'll go down with you.
Good luck.
But I don't care.
Because, dude, we let this show go off the air completely for what, almost 6 weeks, and by popular demand, we was, you know, I'm pretty sure that at about midway through that 6-week thing, if I would have called you up and we would have sat and had an honest conversation, we might have not even brought the show back.
Yeah, in the last couple of months, too, it's been kind of crazy because, like I said, I've been villain mode. I've been casting people out and not really caring. You know, I've destroyed everything I ever built, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've really, you know, Lisa, you're really all I have at this point in this show. You know, I'm thinking about doing my own show, but NWO Truth Radio is one thing. You know, Last Voice for Liberty is another thing. And there's all these other things that we built over time. Remember Knuckle Bones? You know, he died a couple years ago.
Larry, God rest his soul, man.
Okay. So it's like the history. It's like your origins, where you come from. Mm-hmm. You know, don't forget that. Don't forget where you come from.
I can't. And you saying that brings up a little bit of soreness. You know, to be quite honest, it does, because you know where I come from, man. YouTube, and then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then on to Freedomizer, then on to Truth Emerges, and everything else, man.
And I was like, man, I hope Lee takes my call. You know, it was like 11 Eastern time or whatever, almost 12. And I was like, I hope he takes my call. And I used to get on your show. I remember that, like the first Last Voice for Liberty shows on Freedomizer.
Yep. I remember getting in on my first fucking Dennis Ford shows on Friday night, the Friday night show.
Right. And it all started.
It's like, and then right after that was Brandon Council, man, fucking being able to get on with both of you guys for several hours on a Friday night, man, it's fucking, I thought it was the coolest shit. I did.
Yeah, nobody was doing that at the time, and guess what, Lee Perry? Nobody's doing what we do right now.
Nobody
Name
can,
anybody
man.
you can. I don't think you can name anybody that's better than the Friday Night Super Show, and I'm sorry to say that, but that's the fucking truth. So there you go.
I ain't sorry to say
gentlemen.
it. I ain't sorry to say it. I'm just saying, prove us wrong.
Let's go to commercial.
I'm going to do what we're going to play a song actually here in just a second, man. I want to take a quick jump behind because this is by special. This song is by. Oh, you got tons left, man. Stop being a little puss, man. Shit. God damn it.
Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs.
Lieutenant Dan. But no, I'm going to play a little bit tune here for a couple seconds, man. We're going to get back into this. Me and Dennis Ford been doing this a very long time, and we're going to run the show the way we like to run the show. And every now and then we like to play a little bit more music than we like to run our fucking mouths. Isn't that a little bit of a shocker? The two some of the most quote-unquote egotistical bastards on Facebook all of a sudden, have a little compassion for you. Want you to hear a little bit of music, man. You heard some Frank Zappa during the break, some fucking exclusive Payday Monsanto. We got something even better, man. I'm not even sure if it's better, but I'm saying it's equally worthy of being upon the Friday Night Super Show, man. And I know that you all love them because they are a great fucking band, man. I got some Tool coming up here in just a few minutes. If you're a little bit thirsty, dude, you can grab a brew because this is the official happy hour, man.
Grab a brew.
Tell 'em, man.
Don't cost nothing.
No, we're good. Break time, ladies and gentlemen, on the Friday Night Super Show. I hope everybody out there loves each other. We'll be right back.
That's right. We'll return here in just a few minutes on the Friday Night Super Show, babies. Yeah, that's right, babies. We are back here on the Friday Night Super Show, the number one show on Friday nights. You know why? Because we're the badasses, man. We are that great. We can toot our own horns and suck our own dicks all fucking night. But the fact of the matter is, you people tune into the show to hear a little bit of insight on some of the bullshit that you're still paying attention to. I know it's kind of hard to turn away from that banquet of bullshit. It is quite tempting. Me and Dennis get to look at it from afar, knowing that, yeah, that's what we gave up. And every now and then we're like, could I just like go back to that for a day and forget everything that I've learned for the last few years, man? Please, just hey, give me 24 hours. Come on, man. Dude, I will cut my dick off and throw it in the river. Give me 24 hours, man. Nope. Well, then guess what? Fuck off. Now we have to be the pricks that we have to be. And sometimes it translates coming out of me. Sometimes it translates coming out of Dennis. But either way, this is the force that you have to be reckoned with. This is the Friday Night Super Show. This is where everybody wants to be on a Friday night. Before you go out and get drunk, you might as well get pissed off at the two of us. So then, therefore, you got a reason to fight at the bar besides somebody grabbing your fat wife's ass. Come on.
Yeah, grabbing heel wife's ass.
Yeah, no, your fat wife's ass.
All wives are heel wives. They're all like the villain in all the movies you've ever seen.
Well,
like Al Bundy all over
a
again.
lot of women, to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of women, well, most women are diabolical. I'm sorry. That's the way you are. Talk amongst yourselves about that shit. Solve that problem on your own. I don't know how to tell you to be less scandalous. Y'all sit there and talk about, oh, men are liars and bullshit. Well, you know what? You've been talking about that most of my life. I'm 40 now. So if you're talking about that most of my life, after about 30 years, you start to see that happen. And my old man taught us to be gentlemen towards ladies and shit, but not everybody. You see the decline, and then you see the rise of it again. Because all of a sudden the guys are paying attention to what the women's are saying. And the women's are like, man, you ain't showing us enough respect. And the guys are like, well, all right, we're going to try to do that. Now the guy starts showing women's the respect. And the women's like, you just a bitch ass nigga. I ain't got no time for you. And so they go and find some stupid ass fucking criminal motherfucker that's going to beat him like a fucking dog, choke him, treat him like shit, and all that other garbage. There's a good choke and there's a bad choke. But I'm not saying Spreewell choke. Well, maybe but
this is interesting because if you think about it, a lot of not just women but humans in general won't really do anything unless it involves money. This is why we all have jobs and shit. We have to live this illusion that we can't survive without money.
Well, that's because most of society functions on the basic principle that fucking most motherfuckers will take fucking these paper shits for certain shits, Like, hey, I'll let you stay in this house if you give me so many paper shits.
What I'm about to say. It kind of does. It has everything to do with what I'm about to say.
Speak it, I can hit this motherfucker. It's 9:20, Nick.
Hold on. Little children, little girls that grow up, ever since they were like 5 years old, they've been spoiled and they've been led towards the line that don't marry a man unless he has a job. That's impossible. Because you want to have a family one day. You want to go to college, because when you die, your children are going to take your place. And that's what we've been living. And that's part of the problem because we think money fuels that, but it doesn't because we could all be chilling. Think of all the money they lost. They lost $6.5 trillion. That's $20,000 for everybody. Every American citizen in the United States of America.
You're right. 6.5 trillion plus 2.3 trillion is what? 8.8 trillion? How much cash is in circulation globally?
Whatever.
Oh, it's the same number. I'm sorry. Just so everybody knows.
We all are motivated towards getting money, but at the end of the day, money doesn't really matter. You're selling your life for pieces of paper. You're selling hours of your life for pieces of paper. How fucked up does that sound? You know, like I said, that's a bad episode of like Twilight Zone when you think about it. It's really fucked up, and it's only getting worse.
Well, and we don't even get the benefit of fucking Rod Serling to fucking, you know.
No, we don't even get the
preempt this one.
climax.
You know, Jack Klugman ain't gonna fucking sit and shoot a game of pool and save her ass. You know,
We
this is
never
like
get the climax.
it's like an episode of Twilight Zone that is like so fucked up. It doesn't even get in Star Trek Next Generation fucking mode, dude. It's fucked up.
Well, look at Hollywood.
And maybe that's the hidden part behind me and Dennis's true anger about this is that I can't speak for Dennis on this, but for me, I still sit and wonder, you know, how has my life gotten to where I've just become this much of an angry bastard all the fucking time? Well, you know what? I think I have to chalk it up to your apathy. Not Dennis Ford's, but everybody else out there, their apathy towards the fact, well, somebody else will do it. Somebody else will fix it. Number two, I have to contribute it up to the propaganda, which that wave has been going on for a very, very, very fucking long time.
At this point, Lee Pierre, I should be trending on Facebook. Dennis Ford should be trending on Facebook. Think about that for a minute. You know, because that's what's going on. People are mad at me because I said some shit on social media.
Well, you would think so.
Who did I learn that from? I learned that from you being offensive. You know?
That's what my entire existence is offensive to most people. And, you know, to be quite honest, I really don't give a fuck. That's your fucking problem. That's not my problem. My problem.
I didn't give a fuck.
The only thing that,
5 years ago.
And you know what? I love Dennis Ford. I love all of you out there. I've said this a million times, but the only fucking reason that I ever get on doing these shows or getting out there trying to post shit on Facebook is because I have 4 plus 2 people that I care about more than any of you motherfuckers. All right? And if it came down to them or you, sorry. Love you to death, but there's a clear choice that I'm going to make. That's the same reason I keep getting on each and every week. That's the same reason I bought my own network. The same reason I keep doing what I'm doing, and I really don't care who the fuck's feathers I ruffle, who I piss off, which thalidomide flipper baby fucking decides to write me or flopping me an angry email tomorrow. I don't give a fuck.
I don't either, Lee Pierre, but that's the funny situation, is that you have exclusive content to Dennis Ford being on the radio. Who else has that? Nobody but Lee Pierre on Last Words for Liberty here on Friday night. Okay? On top of that, we have exclusive content to other artists that you're not going to find anywhere else on radio, period. Mm-hmm. That's how good we are at what we do. So, it is what it is. I'll drink to that. Okay.
Sorry, man.
You know what I'm saying? You better all hail Cobra. Cobra!
Cobra! Oh, shit.
That's what we bring to the table. And like I said, love it or hate it, you know, it is what it is. I really don't care.
And there are still good hosts out there that are doing good jobs, man. It's just we kind of see them as losing their fire a little bit. You know,
earlier, like I
because
said, to piss people off. The only reason I'm trying to rattle people up is to stir the fire, the passion that I see in them. I see the potential in them. I want to get that out of them because that's why I got involved with people like Lee Pierre, Austin Thomas, Liberty Lisa, AJ. The list goes on and on and on. Handpicked radio show hosts that we didn't necessarily pick ourselves.
It seems that, you know,
special.
People are becoming complacent with just the niche that formed. And to be quite honest, we are kind of getting too comfortable. You know, maybe it was the shakeup for us to you know, go to the other network and take the show off the air for a little bit for you and me to wake up to that realization that, hey, man, we're all becoming complacent. You know, we've all just all of a sudden become comfortable in our little shits. And let me tell you one thing, kids. Every fucking time you become comfortable, something bad's gonna happen. Don't ever fucking be comfortable, ever. I know, it sucks. But guess what? Don't ever do it. Don't
No,
ever.
that's the truth, too. And like I said, in the aftermath, if you want to, you know, post us leaving that network, you know, there is an aftermath that I really couldn't deal with because I was dealing with the death of my mother. And a year before that, or whenever it was, Lee Perry, his father died. So that was like something we bonded on before we even got into radio.
Mm-hmm.
That was meant to happen. And it's really beyond our control at this point, Lee Perry. This is just a juggernaut that's going to be what it is. And if I have bad days, you're going to have a good day. And when you have bad days, I'm going to have a good day. And everybody else, whatever, everybody's going to be happy, right?
And lo and behold,
going to be fine.
if both of us have good days all at once, look the fuck out, niggas. Because it's on.
If we both have a bad day, you know, both of us together, like if we both go villain mode, which I've been kind of trying to get out of you lately, but you don't, you know, it's like, you know, it's like voting. It's like, do you vote for Dennis Ford or do you vote for yada yada? You know, you don't want to go there. But I'm the one that's going to bring that up because I really don't care at the end of the day. I don't know any of these people on Facebook. I haven't met any of these people. They haven't contributed anything to my life, you know, unless me typing or looking what they're posting. But nobody brings to the table when it comes to Facebook what Dennis Ford does. I'm very unique in that profile of being that on social media because I mastered the art 5 years ago when I first got into it. You know, I'm a big fan of Kung Fu films and understanding your potential if you practice something you're very passionate about. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I know how to drink. You know, I can outdrink you, blah 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 blah."
Yeah,
but that's one aspect of being a human. Do you really understand your potential as a human? You know, outside of what the television told you are. Reading books. How many people read books, Lika? Think about that. The percentage of Americans that read books before they go to sleep or whatever.
Say words, son. You know, they got these, they build like little birdhouse things out in front of their yards and put books in them. And it's like the free little neighborhood libraries.
Think about it.
And I really want to start a GoFundMe to buy, you know, a bunch of copies of like 1984 and really good, you know, reading materials. So I can just go around and put it in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like when a kid is trick or treating, just give him a book. Give him like 1984. You know, hey, here kid, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, kid. You fucking bother me. Hey kid, you know,
go read
throw
something.
The fucking books at him.
Yep.
You know?
Read something good. Here's the blueprints of why your government's making you a slave. Tell that to a kid on Halloween in front of their parents right there when they go knock knock trick or treat. The little 5-year-old stand there in his little ghost costume. Oh, it looks so cute right there in his little ghost costume. What's your little joke, son? He said, "Hey, Dad, bleep 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 bleep, chicken cross the road," and whatever the fuck they say. And you read standing up, read this. This is how the government's fucking you in the ass and making your parents and you slaves for the rest of your life. Say that in front of a parent. You know, watch them turn their head. I advise offering them a beer before that happens. Okay? Give the kid a little candy bar, but before they leave, slap that copy of 1984 on it.
Wow, that was a great promo. That was like a Coors Light commercial.
That was a Bud Light commercial. Mr. Don't say what you're thinking.
I don't think you can have a good time without Colt 45.
Thank you very much.
I don't recommend it.
You just let shit spill out of your mouth before you ever even lay thought to it.
Like Billy D. Williams for Colt 45?
Colt 45, yeah, that was Billy D, dude. Hi, I'm Billy D. Williams. You might know me as Lando Calrissian. Colt 45 is one hell of a smooth drink, just like me. I remember those commercials, man. It's fucking hilarious.
Like I said earlier in the show, it was like a good time to grow up. Even if you grew up in the late 70s, growing up in the 80s and the 90s, that was the best time to be alive. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, except for 80s music, man.
It was amazing.
80s music was quite horrible. It was like disco shat.
Not the
and
80s
that's what
music.
happened.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Thank Christ for metal.
You know, but we had all kinds of other shit to distract us. We had television. That was the birth of television, really.
Mm-hmm. And look where that led us, man.
I know.
And this is horrible because there are like 3 people on the planet. There are 3 people on the planet that make as many television and movie references as I do, and that's my 2 younger brothers and you. So, and we get them all. We know each joke. Whether or not you people out there are laughing is beyond. I really don't give a fuck. If we get the joke and we laugh at it, it's funny. If you're not laughing, look that shit up and find out why it's funny. That's your fault, okay? Come on. Lenny Bruce was funny too. Think about it.
Yeah. In the information age, ignorance is a choice.
That's for sure.
How many times have I said that? If I had a nickel for every time I said that, I'd still be broke as shit.
We'd have 2 Quick Trip burritos and a fucking bag of chips. Shit, come on.
Taco Bell with the money.
Dude, you can go around Quick Trip and turn on their fucking faucet with the fucking square bit. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, but seriously.
Those are the mouse homeless tips. Thank you very much.
And at some point, we have to get out of here, because at some point, I got to get off the phone, leave here tonight.
We still got another fucking hour. I don't know what you're sitting over there whining about, acting like, this show can just be over in 2 hours. Like, this is Blog Talk. This is the Friday Night Super Show, son. This is where we go beyond what everybody else does. This is where we take it to that next fucking level. This is why the tag team champs are the tag team champs. Nobody said it'd be easy. But fuck, it's like pimping. Sure is fun.
Well, how about this? Third hour, I'll call back in. Because I do have to take a minute here to step out of being a radio show and putting on this act of entertaining people for the last 2 hours. So.
All right. Well, you take a little break, man. I'll give you.
How you doing?
Shit, man. I'm ready to go the full 9. I don't pussy out when it comes to free shit to drink. Shit. I am the fucking Iron Man, motherfucker. You're talking to the guy that did, fucking 21, 32 straight days, man. I don't give no fucks. Just because I fell asleep that one time don't mean shit. Motherfuckers trying to talk to me while I'm snoring. You don't know when to mute a motherfucker? Come on. This is what we're talking about when you're not being professional. What the fuck?
Like I said, I'm trying to be professional right now, so just give me a minute. I'll mute myself. If you want to play whatever else you got lined up or something, you want to take a break?
You mute yourself, man. I've got a few tunes, man. We can fucking play a few more tunes. I've got another tune to get us launched into the third hour. That's right. Our third hour is all live. If you want the number, you can message me. You can be a part of it. For Christ's sakes, man. We'll take your call. Just because neither one of us will probably be nice at this moment in time just really doesn't mean anything. For Christ's sakes, have some balls. You don't have to go out and listen to Technotronic or play your Pac-Man video games right now. You can take a break. It's all right.
I'm going to sing you something too, Lee. I'm going to sing you something real quick while we take a break.
You're going to sing me something? Oh, sing me a song. You're the piano man.
I mean, it can't be on the show here tonight, but I'm saying in the future, next Friday or something.
It's going to happen, babies. I'm trying to stall for time because I'm trying to get a couple songs loaded up here. That's all right. I can change these out when I want to. All right. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? That didn't elicit as much of a response as I really wanted it to be. But that's okay, babies. We'll be right back. The third hour of the Friday Night Super Show coming up. Enjoy a little bit of Clutch. We'll be back on the mouth with Mr. Friday Night Tag Team Champions.
First thing that I did was buy a pack of smokes, checked into a motel and consult my horoscope. Sitting on the bed with my briefcase in my hand, patiently awaiting any one of my commands. Telekinetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. You better believe me, brother. X-ray vision, telekinetic prophetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. I know what you think, sister. X-ray vision. Next thing that I did was tap on Morse code with the wanted nickel on the receiver of the phone. Before I could complete it, I was quickly overtaken by the angry spirits of Ronald and Nancy Reagan. Telekinetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. You better believe me, brother. X-ray vision, telekinetic prophetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. I know what you're thinking, sister. X-ray vision. And on the drums, Gemini. On bass guitar, presenting Pisces. On lead guitar, we have Aries. And on the microphone, Scorpio. Last thing I remember, I was cutting from the ruins. I don't know who's to blame for that, but I know who didn't do it. With every day that passes, it keeps on getting stranger. But that really doesn't bother me, 'cause I get up from the danger. Telekinetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. You better believe me, brother. X-ray vision, telekinetic prophetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. I know what you're thinking, sister. X-ray vision, telekinetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. You better believe me, brother. X-ray vision, telekinetic prophetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. I know what you're thinking. X-ray vision.
Liquid chicken, baby. Do you have problems with your dental work? Does your gums bleed and get infected? Well, the answer to all your prayers is in this little bottle. You can eat liquid chicken with a straw. It's got all the vitamins and minerals of solid chicken, but it don't promote tooth decay. And, most of all, it don't promote a solid movement. Remember what happened to Elvis? Think about it. Liquid chicken is convenient, too. If you ain't got time to wash your hands and eat, just turn up a bottle of liquid chicken or drink it with a straw. Damn, that's good.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor? That question was asked a few years ago of 113,597 doctors. The brand name most was Camel. Recently, that question was again asked of tens of thousands of doctors across the country. Doctors in all branches of medicine. And again, the brand named most was Camel.
Yes, according to these nationwide surveys, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Friends, smoke the cigarette so many doctors enjoy. Change to Camel for 30 days and see how mild, how flavorful, how enjoyable a cigarette can be. Yes, change to Camels for 30 days, and you'll stay with Camels from then on.
How mild, how mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test, and you'll see. Smoke Camel to see.
My dinner's on fire while she watches TV. And if you ever wondered what it's like to be me, she takes all my money and leaves me no smokes. Yells at my buddies and insults my folks. I'm breaking my back, doing the best that I can. She's got time for the dog and none for her man. And I'm no dope, but I can't cope. So hit the fucking road and piss up a rope. You can pass up a rope and you can put on your shoes, hit the road, get trucking. Pack your bag, I don't need the ag. On your knees, you big booty bitch, start sucking. You ride my ass like a horse in a saddle. Now you're up shit's creek with a turd for a paddle. And I can't cope, piss up a rope. You can piss up a rope and feel the pissy dribble. You can piss up a rope and watch me giggle. For the last 6 months I've been packing your bag. You can wash my balls with a warm wet rag till my balls feel smooth and soft like silk. I'm sick of your mouth and your 2% milk. And I'm no dope, but I've lost all hope. So hit the fucking road and piss up a rope. You can pass up a rope and you can put on your shoes, hit the road, get trucking. Pack your bag, I don't need the ag. On your knees, you big booty bitch, start sucking. You ride my ass like a horse in a saddle. Now you're up shit's creek with a turd for a paddle. And I can't cope, piss up a rope. You can pass up a rope and you can put on your shoes, hit the road, get trucking. Pack your bag, I don't need the ag. On your knees, you big booty bitch, start sucking. You ride my ass like a horse in a saddle. Now you're up shit's creek with a turd for a paddle. And I can't cope, piss up a rope. You can pass up a rope and you can put on your shoes, hit the road, get trucking. Pack your bag, I don't need the ag. On your knees, you big booty bitch, start sucking. You ride my ass like a horse in a saddle. Now you're up shit's creek with a turd for a paddle. And I can't cope, piss up a rope.
Ladies and gentlemen, you caught us mid-conversation, and especially since that song ended God knows how long ago. But we are live here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. And as I was explaining to Dennis, I am the best in the world. Yeah, there's no doubts about it. Jim Zabel, your Paul Harvey's, they suck on my nuts. Okay? They do. Dangling in my nutscape. I'll take a picture of my mountains. Mountains In the background, my nuts in the foreground, guess who's going to be hanging on them? Each and every radio show host ever. Right there. Sorry. I don't mean to be egotistical. Maybe I'm just jumping off on the wrong foot, or maybe I'm just trying to piss a few people off. But y'all stop. I mean, try. You're not trying. You're like Cheech trying to push up that barbell. Come on, you're not trying. I just stand here and shout slogans at you until you try. You can be better than that, man. You know what? And these are the same. And this is all just fantasy and bullshit that we're not even beginning to argue about that garbage tonight, man. The fucking pissing contest is over. The dick measuring contest has been long and done with. Okay, it really is. Mine's the longest and the tastiest, but. You have that. The fact of the matter still remains, all right? Maybe if somebody in our circle that is all of a sudden getting just out of the ordinary, why is he doing this? Why is he attacking us like this? Why is he saying these things? Well, maybe because that somebody has recognized something you haven't. That maybe that somebody has recognized something that the rest of us in our circle haven't. Maybe that somebody is standing down there, dude, I got a whole bottle of Tabasco sauce and a book of fucking matches. It's time to get this motherfucker going. And maybe that somebody is Mr. Friday Night Dennis Ford.
Yeah, that's it right there in a nutshell. You know, no pun intended. But yeah, that's what I'm here to do. At this point right now, I don't know. A lot of people talk about they're driven to do something, but for me, I've already been doing this, so this is common knowledge for me. This is just who I am. And like I said, anybody that's known me over the years, especially Leaf here, yeah, I think I'm the greatest at what I do too, as far as when it comes to radio. I mean, there's nobody that even touches what I have done or brought to the table. Again, you know, I've earned my spot in what I do.
You're about to be, you're the motherfucking Anakin Skywalker, motherfucking.
Yeah, but I'm not going to bring up anybody else. I'm just going to let people know at this point in time, if there was a ranking system, the Friday Night Super Show is probably the best show you're going to get on Friday night, period, point blank, in the world, greatest of all time, because two people came together and both of us don't give a shit. We don't really care.
Or a fuck.
About anything anybody else says, but we work together. There's a lot of shit we don't agree on, Leaf here. I mean, like you said, you're the greatest, in the world. I believe that in myself, too, because that's the passion I have. And if you don't have that, then why are you even in radio? You should be here to, gain your influence, even if it's hip-hop music. Gain your influence and transform into something else. That's what Payday Monsanto did, and that's why I want to let people know about Payday Monsanto.
A lot of people have done that, man. Throughout different genres of music.
His lead, though. I mean, he's not somebody I look to, but he's very, very good at what he does. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, but I know you do.
Anybody, I'll tell you this, man, and this is the God's honest truth, ladies and gentlemen. This actually happened. I can have him call on the show and back this one up. It will get a little bit crazy because, well, God love him, he is just as crazy as I am. But we went and saw the Frank Zappa movie, the documentary the other day, post his wife's death and all that crap, If you want to know that story, check out the archive on the Arsenal Sound of the Frank Zappa Tribute Show. But after the show, we're outside with the guy that we work with on a regular basis, and his name, is really great. It's Patrick Dempsey, and no, it's not the actor from the 80s. He's way cooler than that guy. But He was telling me, he's like, I go to these Iowa Hawkeye football games, and they got these massive sound systems and everything else. It's like, if we could get in touch with that guy and put a few Payday Monsanto songs in the ears of some of 80,000 people. And this is a 54-year-old man telling me this, okay? That means that we've done our job, Dennis. That means that not only have you and I done our job, but Payday did his job too, because all we can do is go, hey, check this motherfucker out. And then he does the rest. And to be quite honest, that was a standout to me. It was to have a good friend of mine, number one, but number two, a 54-year-old man, a 54-year-old white man, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Just to put it in your whole mainstream media racial crap, was wondering, why can't we get in touch with the sound guy at a major football stadium, college football stadium, and play just one Payday Monsanto song? Come on.
Just one. I mean, one out of like.
Maybe people would start to think, he says, maybe they would actually start to form a thought upon their own. And I'm like, Pat, what do you think I've been doing for the last 5 years, man? But it's great to see that moment of realization in people's eyes. We don't get to see it a whole lot here on the radio. It doesn't transpose that whole lot because we don't see any of you motherfuckers. But
no, to be honest with you, Lieutenant, Payday Monsanto was kind of the reason I got into radio and started really trying to drive home the fact that a lot of people haven't heard his music. And I was doing radio because nobody was playing Payday Monsanto, but I was. And look at us now. 7 albums. There's another one coming. I mean, like I said, people are not really ready for what's coming. But it is what it is. It's just part of my history and my origins and where I come from. I'm just a lonely person in Virginia that did all this shit on my own. Self-taught myself to fill this niche or this void that I saw that nobody else was doing. And that's what Lee Peer did. Austin Thomas is one thing, going to YouTube and finding Lee Peer. But he didn't really find Lee Peer. Lee Peer was already doing this. But it's glad, it's a good thing that we linked up. We have mutual friends or whatever. Maybe things will boil over. Everything will be fine. But like I said, I really don't care.
Well, once they actually grasp what you're,
do you
what
really
you're bringing
listen to Payday
across.
Monsanto's music? Some of the songs I send you because these
Motherfucker,
are kind of
I do.
what I'm doing.
When I got 54-year-old white men telling me, dude, we need to get this motherfucker's music heard by people. Yeah, I'm playing it.
Well, who do you think started that in 2012? That was me.
I know, motherfucker.
Along with other people, I won't even bring their names up. Like I said, but just people that I was showing music to, and I was like, hey, here's, let's connect the dots. Let's work together. Let's be nice guy. Hey, I love you. Oh, we're all good. We're family. We're fun. Blah, 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 blah. It gets old after, 5 years.
Dude, life got old after 5 years, man. Does that mean to give up on it then, You know what I'm saying?
I'll say the shit that you don't want to say, Lee Peer, because these people say that
I don't have to
friends,
say it,
quote unquote,
because I just don't care.
No, I really don't care, but I'm saying I haven't met any of these people. There's only a handful of people I would even want to meet that I've met on social media. And
I want to meet them all. I'd love to meet them all.
People in general,
Well,
for 5 years.
Dude, I want to meet. I want to meet everybody.
I've been showing people the light. I've been showing people there's a better way, there's a different way than what you're doing, and nobody gives a flying shit about anything I've been saying for the last 5 years.
I just want to dispel any rumors that I'm a liar.
To the point where I fucking tell people to fuck off and kiss my ass. Now they want to come. They want to come, talk about me and create controversy, just like I'm doing. I'm trolling these people.
You got a point.
I've been doing this for years.
Dude, for years and years, you and I have been friends, and for years and years, I've checked your Facebook, and,
Now, I'll pull you too.
You've got,
if I want to.
yeah, I know, but
I'll pull your strings too.
it ain't gonna work.
But I won't.
Sorry.
Because I respect you.
You go ahead and try. I'll let you.
I don't even want to go into that world. But these other people, yeah,
just so you know, I pulled back.
They're like, all right, I know this person because we talked on the phone and blah, blah, blah. You don't know me.
Oh,
you don't know where I come from. You don't know the shit I'm dealing with right now.
You don't even want to know where
in my life. Because I'm not playing around anymore.
There's people out there in radio land that, like, Earl was pointing out to me earlier, it used to be Lee was the crazy, bad fucking guy that would, piss everybody off, and Dennis was the voice of reason. Now it's almost flip-flop. It's like, motherfuckers, no, I've just been way nicer to you than you deserve. To be quite honest, you have no idea just how fucking offensive I can be.
Let me tell you something. Like I said, man, I'm in Ric Flair mode, heel mode. I'll hit you with a chair. I'll take your spot because I don't have anything to lose. And anybody in my way, I
got your back, man, like Mr. Perfect, yo.
I don't care. I care about that, Lee. I care about us setting out to what, we had set out to do when it comes to this show. But tag team championships only get you so far. I want the world title.
Shit, I'm out for the universal title, motherfucker.
I want to be the motherfucker that makes Alex Jones quit his job.
Shit, I want to make Alex Jones fucking move out to the desert in Somalia with Sally Struthers eating Twinkies
guys,
and shit.
All of them, like the Undertaker, like you just come in and you just like,
lay him to waste. That's what's going to happen, man.
That's what I'm trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I'm playing the game.
I'm trying to do what I've always tried to do. Bring the people the goddamn truth. I'm not sitting out here to fucking show you how big my dick is. You want to see how big it is? Come on over. Shit, you want a dick pic? Come. Hit me up.
Well, like I said,
I'll send you one. I got plenty of them, motherfuckers. Because it is that impressive.
Just think about hip-hop alone. Let's talk about hip-hop for a second. Underground hip-hop. There's only one that you're going to mention, and that's Payday Monsanto. Pound for pound, the best.
And there's a couple that I'm going to mention just because.
He earned that title. And the only person that can take it away from him is Payday Monsanto. And I've kind of
dude, it's like I've said a million times on the show, dude. It's unfair to fucking put Payday Monsanto up against everybody else because
would you call him a face or a heel? What category would you put him in?
I'd call Payday Monsanto a fucking musical genius, is what I'd call him.
Well,
and that's the God's honest truth. That's not a picking sides, wishy-washy Charlie Brown. Oh, please, Lucy, let me kick the football again, motherfucker. That's somebody sitting here as a musician calling another musician that I've never called a hip-hop artist a musician before because, quite frankly, I've always looked down upon that. But someone has changed my mind on that type of thinking. And that motherfucker would be Payday Monsanto. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you don't, dude, I still have mad love for what Diesel has done. I still have mad love for what Steve Grant has done, BTP, all these guys that we've ever promoted on the show. Hey, you guys are fucking awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. You have fucking unlimited potential. By all means, keep going, man. We will keep playing your music regardless of whether or not it chafes his feathers or not. Okay? It will happen. Payday Monsanto, at least to me, and I can't speak for Dennis, but at least to me, is his own category. And he is. And to many of you that I just mentioned out there, we've talked about this before on air, and we've all agreed on that as well. So let's just let all that bullshit lay off to the side. We got new Sirius Minor coming up. Consider the Source getting ready to play in my town, man. I'm definitely going to have the boys say something about the show.
I'm just going to mention something real quick before we play the music.
This winter.
Again, Payday Monsanto is his own category. category when it comes to music in general. You know, somebody that went in and changed the game of what you think of when you hear hip hop music. You know, somebody
Well, you know,
that's actually
for
dropping
somebody
knowledge.
to come across in the mid to late 2000s and make a new category of music that didn't suck.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, that's never been done.
You know,
it's never been done. And not just hip hop music. I'm talking about a vast variety of music. I mean, he has all kinds of songs. There's a catalog that could make your head spin. You wouldn't even be able to keep up with all the music that comes out of Payday Monsanto. Right now, he's probably making a song as we're talking. So, yeah, when it comes to other artists and other people that are like, yeah, I make music, well, this dude is on his 7th album, and you're just now releasing like your 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's the truth, and that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I'm way beyond what a lot of other people are thinking about. You know, I'm beyond that because I'm focused on a plan, and all this shit is going to make sense at a certain time. But the time is not right now. But soon, yeah, shit is
don't worry,
going to line
man.
up.
You ain't got to cue me in on it yet. But when I do eventually
No,
ask,
I mean,
which
we're going on a world tour. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take the Friday Night Super Show
hey
to-
now, brother. I love you to death, and ain't nobody got your back like I do. But when the time comes, now, let me finish. When the time comes that I do ask, yo, dude, what the fuck? Please then cue me in, and I'd be like, all right, Lee. you ain't bugged me about it before. You always have my back. I'll cue you in now. I ain't gonna ask for a while. It's not like I'm gonna type that shit up tomorrow, man. I got shit to do. Right.
No, I mean, you work in a secret society yourself, you know, with certain people you communicate with. Just like me.
I call them my kids.
Yeah, I'm tapped into something that a lot of people are not even familiar with, let alone know about. But I'm bringing, like I said, the best. I want the best out of everybody. So if I'm trolling you or fucking with you or pissing you off, I want you to get mad and get better.
That means you've been slacking.
You know?
Yeah. If Dennis Ford is trolling you and pissing you off, that's what he's saying, kids. That means you've been slacking. Stop slacking.
I'm just saying.
You know, get on there and go.
I don't mean
you can get on there. If it makes you feel better, just type, fuck you, Dennis. And then next show you do, or next thing you do, bring a game.
Yeah,
and then send Dennis a message to go challenge. And Dennis will be like, yes.
Like I said, they can't send me a message because I jumped through profiles on Facebook that they can't even.
Well, then I guess send it to me. And send it to me and just say, tell Dennis, tell Dennis, challenge. And guess what? That motherfucker will be in his living room dancing a jig. Going, yes.
Either way.
They're gonna fight back. They're gonna bring their A game. They're gonna bring their best because that's really what's up here. That's what you've said all night, buddy.
Like I said, that's the overall message, even to the hip hop artists and everybody that's in the underground and people we promote and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get to a level where we're doing our best all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Payday is doing. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Everybody can do better. All of us can, even us, and we are the best of the best. The cream of the crop. We rise to the top.
Nobody else
never eat a pig because the pig is a cop.
Period. So, I mean, just think about that for a second. Like I said, I'm tapped into a lot of shit again that is going to go down. Probably before the new year, but still very interesting shit that I'm blessed to be a part of. And I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think people are really ready for what's coming, but all of this is going to make sense at the end of the day because I'm going to go to where I need to be and hopefully leave here be there. I don't know, maybe you can sleep in the basement.
In the end, when you look back and reflect on it, apparently not everybody
But I'm trying to go where I need to be.
Apparently, not everybody was ready for the Friday Night Super Show. And yet, here we are.
But like I said, I just want people to retire. If you're not as serious about radio as I am, then hang up the mic. And that's not talking shit or ego or anything like that. I'm just being serious because I don't even have to talk. I can play 500 Payday Monsanto songs for 5 days. Like, what do you want from me? You know,
and we do actually have the airtime here to do that. If you want 500 Payday Monsanto songs a day, you know, no matter what, you can message us here at the Friday Night Super Show on Facebook, and we could probably make that happen. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we could run a 24-hour network running music that's just Payday Monsanto music, because I know I have at least enough music for 5 days, at least.
Well, yeah, that's always going to end up in there. The Payday's always going to end up in the mix. I am working on putting a loop that goes on so you can tune into the network and listen to music no matter what, unless the show's going on. And we do have other hosts coming to this network, man. Some good names that I can't say right now. You know, there's still talks and paperworks and all sorts of stuff going on, man. But
yeah, we're trying to sign free agents. You know, we're trying to sign, like, again, the best. You know, this is like WWE. This is like the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ooh, yeah, damn it. You know, like, we're trying to pick out the best people at doing this. And if you're not on that level, yeah, I'm going to call you out. Sorry. And if you become better, maybe it was meant for me to call you out and point a finger at you. Somebody needs to do it. Why not Dennis for it?
Exactly. And that's what we do here. We can be the bad guys. We are the voice of the words that are better left unspoken. Why? Because we can. You know, our whole give a fuck gland got donated to fucking Red Cross in 1984.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, I talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, like I said, I've brought music to people that otherwise they wouldn't even know about. Just like
You not only brought music, dude, but you brought knowledge to people that they've never known before, dude. And that's where you know, I think you sell yourself a little bit short. Because, yeah, you've turned a lot of people on to some of the greatest music that is available to mankind out there. But you've also brought a good fucking message along with it. And it just sucks that all of a sudden motherfuckers are now paying attention and throwing a fit about what you're saying. You know,
Yeah,
just
true.
because all of a sudden you decided, you know, let me see what it's like to play Skeletor. I got Snake Mountain, bitches.
Yeah, like Cobra Commander, you know.
You know, and
just, you know.
And it's like you're sitting here going, here, look, I'm stirring up human feces. Oh, come on, it's tasty. You'll like it. Come on, you'll like it. And they're all like, no, I'm not gonna like it. And you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna like it. Come on. And then they come in and they dip their fucking spoon in and take a big old fucking sip and they fucking get pissed at you. I told you it was fucking shit. I mean, nobody forced you to put that spoon in there. It's not like I was the government, but threatened to either kill you or put you in a cage if you didn't take a sip of the shit.
It's not like I put a gun to your head.
Just saying. Yeah.
But either way.
If you motherfuckers want to feed the beast, why don't you feed the beast something that appetizes him, you know, like your A game, like fucking bringing something that nobody's bringing, like going that extra fucking step. I know for many of us who've been in this for a very long time, you get complacent. And it's something I mentioned earlier in the second hour, man. You do. But you've got to keep that fire going, man. Because it's our fire. We are on the very fucking front lines. When history comes to that point of people who are remembered for first saying things, it's us. Why do you think our fucking numbers grow? Why do you think that more and more people keep listening? Because we're not sitting out here blowing shit out our ass. We're actually trying to bring a point across to you, actually trying to bring you some truth. And, you know, in the end here tonight, kids, you know, I can't.
Hold on, Lee. Hold on a second. just doing something with your sorry ass, pathetic life. Get off the couch and do fucking something. Even if you get off the computer or whatever you're doing, again, do it with, you know, maybe a B-, but when you get to, like, radio, bring your A+ game, because that's what I bring to the game. And like I said, I found the avenue that nobody else was doing, and I decided I could do it, and I've been doing it for 5 years, and I'm untouchable. Nobody can say shit about me.
And now, even on the Friday Night Super Show, we openly get, you know, hammered drunk. You know, we tell you about it.
That's a whole other thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but here's my point, is us getting hammered drunk and still doing it and still making sense. Sorry. You guys need to really step up your game. Dennis is right. Don't be a fucking sorry fucking idiot that sits there your entire life and never fucking does anything or knocks on people's doors and then is not there.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know, it sounds like you're walking outside. You're going outside.
No. Was that recycling bin out there? Before there?
It was like 2 weeks ago today. But I've been told that my daughter's been out there. Nobody's supposed to be got black car.
I can't say that I've seen anybody over there, but if you really want me to start keeping an eye out, I'm here about tonight.
I've already made out a report. So they're aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Alright, my name's Lee.
Diana.
Alright, Diana. Actually, that's the first time I've ever heard that name, so I probably will.
Okay.
Alright, if you ever need anything, man, I keep an eye on. I'm here most nights.
Well, I think she's getting me back, so I got the back there.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that.
Well, if I ever see anything, I'll jump over there. I ain't afraid. Yep. Are we still on the air? Dennis, are you still there? You know, that's what it's about, people. Talking to your neighbors. You got to stand up and be a part of that. I'm going to play a couple tunes here, kids, because, well, you know, a little bit disoriented. And, you know, I might just jump into the Anarchy Girl show tonight. But first, I'm going to play a couple tunes. I'm going to hope, and it looks like I'm not cutting off my microphone. That's wonderful. Alright, kids, we're going to play some tunes. We'll be right back here on the Friday Night Super Show to round it all out tonight.
Black bears weigh between 200 and 500 pounds. Brown bears weigh between 300 and over 1,000 pounds. Black bears run away from you. Brown bears run at you. When attacked by a bear, simply lie still on the ground and cover your face and head with your hands. When the bear is finished batting you around and mauling you, contact the U.S. Forest Service.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town. My car is fast, my teeth are shiny. I tell all the girls they can kiss my hiney. Here I am at a famous school. I'm dressing sharp and I'm acting cool. I got a cheerleader here, wants to help with my paper. Let her do all the work and maybe later I'll rave her. Oh God, I am the American dream. I do not think I'm too extreme, but I'm a handsome son of a bitch. I'm gonna get a good job and be real rich. Get a good, get a good, get a good, get a good. Women's liberation came creeping all across the nation. I tell you people, I ready when I fucked this dyke by the name of Freddie. She made a little speech then, all she tried to make me say when she had my balls in a vice, but she left the dick. I guess it's still hooked on, but now it shoots too quick. Oh God, I am the American dream, but now I smell like Vaseline, and I'm a miserable son of a bitch. Am I a boy or a lady? I don't know which. I wonder. So I went out and bought me a leisure suit. I jingled my change, but I'm still kinda cute. Got a job doing radio promo, and none of the jocks can even tell I'm a homo. Eventually me and a friend sorta drifted along into S&M. I can take about an hour on the Tower of Power, as long as I get a little golden shower. Oh God, I am the American dream, with a spindle up my butt till it makes me scream, and I'll do anything to get ahead. I'll lay awake nights saying thank you, Fred. Oh God, I'm so fantastic. Thanks to Freddie, I'm a sexual spastic, and my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down, and my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down, and my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down.
Yeah, I knew you'd be surprised.
Got your whole block shaking. Got your whole block shaking.
I keep my cannabinoid receptors activated all hours. Believer in sativa is my most favorite flower. The keef that I smoke, good grief, it's no joke. Pound for pound on the streets, it beats the best coke. I see your plasticity and I have to dish you when I got the cannabis sativa in my fatty tissue. Fuck what you believe, I'm keen to the plan. It's an all-out assault on your pineal gland. We got you yelling at your television. That's an easy catch, throwing joystick game controllers at your TV sets. I won't guzzle beer at no scene, or paint my face green, or cheer for no team. That is what I characterize as rabbit food, in the very same magnitude of a faggot mood. You're switching, swapping, flipping, flopping, shit's been popping. I've been in the kitchen chopping herbs and spices. My, how absurd the prices. Lots of dollar signs, baby, word to ISIS. Ritual sacrifices, 500 million children murdered, and it was worth it regardless what the price is. We must send your child to war. Freedom's what he's fighting for. Son, this is for a noble cause. For God and country, you will fight these global wars.
We're gonna do this song for Useless. Oh, I was in the whips and things, and she was in the pain, and I would beat her black and blue when she called me names. Chained her to the basement wall where she went insane, and I was in the whips and things, she was in the pain. Oh, finger fucking Sally worked at Kelly's bar. She showed me her titties, Ronnie Murphy's car. She was the first lady to let me go that far. Finger fucking Sally down at Kelly's bar. And pussy-eating Pamela went to Elliott High. Caught her in the bathroom, I thought she would die. Eating Susan's pussy, licked that sucker dry. Pussy-eating Pamela went to Elliott High. Oh, suck 'em silly Shirley came out after dark. She would give us head jobs in Centennial Park. All the girls would snub her, said she was a narc. Suck 'em silly Shirley from Centennial Park. Yes, good old Bloody Mary's on the rag again. Pussy-eating Pamela's got blood on her chin. Suck 'em silly Shirley got caught after dark. Finger frickin' Sally in Centennial Park. Now pussy-eating Pamela in the county jail. Suck 'em silly Shirley left town on a rail. They sent Bloody Mary to the pen for life. And finger fucking Sally, she became my wife. And I was in the whips and things, she was in the pain. And I would beat her black and blue when she called me names. Chained her to the basement wall where she went insane. And I was in the whips and things, she was in the pain. Oh, finger fucking Sally worked at Kelly's bar. She showed me her titties in Ronnie Murphy's car. She was the first lady to let me go that far. Finger fucking Sally down at Kelly's bar. And pussy-eating Pamela went to Elliott High. Caught her in the bathroom, I thought she would die. Eating Susan's pussy, licked that sucker dry. Pussy-eating Pamela went to Elliott High. Oh, suck 'em silly Shirley came out after dark. She would give us head jobs in Centennial Park. All the girls would snub her, said she was a narc. Suck 'em silly Shirley from Centennial Park. Yes, good old Bloody Mary's on the rag again. Pussy-eating Pamela got blood on her chin. Suck 'em silly Shirley got caught after dark. Finger fucking Sally in Centennial Park. Now pussy-eating Pamela in the county jail. Suck 'em silly Shirley.
Evolution is a mystery, full of chains that no one sees. Clock makes a fool of history.
what you're thinking, all your doubts and fear. And if you look in my eyes in time, you'll find the reason I'm here. And in time all things shall pass away. In time you may come back someday to live once more or die once more. But in time your time will be no more. You know your days are numbered, count them one by one, like notches in the handle of an outlaw's gun. You can outrun the devil if you try, but you will never outrun the hands of time. In time there'll surely come a day, in time all things shall pass away. In time you may come back, some say, to live once more or die once more. But in time your time will be no more. You're thinking.
You know I hear what you're thinking. You know the rest of us do, man. Right from everybody here at the Last Voice for Liberty Network, man. On the Friday Night Super Show, we do what we do because we have to. Love us, hate us, either way, you're going to have to listen at some point in time because history is being made right now. For everybody out there, man, all our friends, all our family, even if Dennis pisses you off this week, we love you, man. From the bottom of our hearts, no matter what, we're still going to be Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest. For all the rest of you out there that first time hearing it, keep on tuning in. Next week, we're going to be live. More shows coming right here, man. You have no idea the information that we know, motherfuckers, and we're going to bring more people to this network, more voices other than just me and Mr. Friday Night being crazy, man. I'm going to end it on this one because we're just trying to rob from the rich, give to the poor, and that means knowledge-wise. Everything is not always measured in gold, kiddies. I'm the mouth, and we're out.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other has to say. Reminiscing this and that and having such a good time. Oodle-lolly, golly, what a day. Never ever thinking there was danger in the water they were drinking, they just guzzled it down. Never dreaming that a scheming sheriff and his posse was watching them and gathering around. Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest, jumping fences, dodging trees, and trying to get away. Contemplating nothing but escape and finally making it. Oodle-lolly, golly, what a day. Oodle-lolly, golly, what a day.